Okay, no questions. Again, this is going to be a slow burn introduction. I will kind of let you all know when it is your turn to introduce yourself. I think for the most part, it should be pretty obvious based off of the quick descriptor I will give. I've sent you all your notes for why you are there, and I've sent you all your my request to you as the DM. So, perfect.
Right.
I'm going to get it started. Sorry, I had to switch to this song because I really like it. All right. So, yeah, quick note. We are also not in Faerun. We are in a homebrew world. This is one of 3 continents. You are currently on the continent of Telfay. So, it is the most western. It is the westernmost continent. There are 3. There's the westernmost, the eastern, and then one kind of that is in the south. There are some islands in between, and then some islands scattered throughout. But for the most part, these are the 3 main ones. Telfay is the middle one. I would say 2 are very well civilized. The bottom is it's kind of barren wasteland. So yeah, just wanted to kind of
Southern,
do what?
the southern.
The southern, yeah. The southern continent's very barren. So, um, cool. So I'll go ahead and get started. Hold up, my music is maybe a smidge too loud. There we go. Okay. So, in the world of Daggermel, on the continent of Telfay, along the western shore known as the Key Coast, and south of the port city hub of Neverfrost, we come to an intersection. The intersection lies near the edge of the Neverfrost Forest and intersects the north-south road known as the Fell Road and the eastern bearing road known as the Bornir Trail. At this intersection, nearest the Neverfrost Forest, there is a man selling fruits and vegetables from a small booth, and another man browsing them for purchase. So, so Jesse, just to be clear, I do the, what's it called?
What are you asking me?
I do the, I'm trying to remember. I do the little arrow thingy.
To be able to like ping on that? Is that what you're doing?
No, to be able to
To show mileage? Is that what you're trying to do?
yellow
Like a line?
thingy. This. Where are y'all?
Oh, okay. Yeah, now that we were on the big map. Now we're
Perfect.
looking at yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Also, hey, just as a note, you need to turn off your streaming mode on your Discord because it's not capturing video of us if you're wanting that.
Oh.
I just had one of the people that I told you was going to watch us
Oh.
send me a screenshot. So it's just black on the stream right now for them.
Gotcha. I turned that off. I appreciate that. Okay. So somebody is going crazy on the token. So, yeah. Colby, that is your character, and in front of you, you are buying fruits and vegetables, and the man selling looks at you and says, "Are you looking for anything in particular, or just passing through?"
Honestly, what's your ripest fruit you have available?
Well, the Neverfrost Forest is a great producer of berries, and I've got some pretty good berries here.
I didn't ask for berries.
Well,
for
you
fruit.
asked. A berry is a fruit, sir. It's one of the better fruits, actually.
I know what a berry is, and I know what a fruit is. Are you questioning my intelligence?
I am not, friend. What's your name?
You don't need to worry about my name.
Okay, sir.
would just like to know the ripest fruit. Mean fruit.
Our ripest and meanest fruit. As the man and as the two men continue to speak, we now get a good look at the man making purchase. And Colby, if you want to introduce
And what am I supposed to introduce?
your character, what do you look like?
He's a dashing fellow. Got a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow, a little bit more than that, stubble. Longer hair, shoulder length. Wears a wide brimmed hat, in a trench coat that covers most everything underneath. You can see the bottom of a sheath sticking out, but you really can't see the hilt, whatever that's next to, from his jacket. He seems pretty closed off, buttoned up. He's been traveling. Definitely looks like it, and he is hungry, and he just really wants a fruit that's right. He's eaten so many on this travel that are too soon, but just did eat it at that time, but for different reasons.
As the man gets a good look at this gentleman in front of him, he looks him up and down and says, "Sir, our ripest fruit is gonna be the berries. We got blueberries and blackberries and blunderberries all for you. I would say that would probably be your best bet. I picked them myself this morning."
Okay, got it. Well, tell me this, mate. What's your favorite berry?
Oh, I'm partial to blackberries myself.
Okay, give me the blue.
All right. He reaches down and begins to pack up some blueberries. And as he's doing this, the gentleman purchasing looks over, and as they're making this exchange, another gentleman on a large wooden cart being pulled by two horses sort of pulls up to this intersection and makes his way past them without much thought. It's just kind of a man passing by. And as he does, Talon, the farmer selling his berries, swears for a moment that he sees something in the large draped cloth in the back of the cart move. He shakes it off and just kind of continues picking the berries and placing them into the bag, and looks to the fella, hands him, and says, "So, you just passing through? Or you're heading somewhere in particular?"
Passing through.
All right. So, are you from around these parts, or?
I don't see why that's anything you need to worry about.
Oh, I'm just making conversation, friend. Well, here are your berries, and you have a great. As they're talking, you immediately hear a loud and gigantic crash behind them. I am trying to do. Yeah, see, this is where I suck. Jesse, I don't know how to redo or view the whole map.
So I would just, if you're trying to show the whole map at once, you can go into the settings on the page. There you go.
Yeah, I did that.
The tiniest cigarette.
All right. Right. So yeah, the crash happens. The man selling his goods, Talon, looks over to see a downed tree lying across the road. By the tree, there is a wagon cart, and one of the horses crushed underneath it. Next to that is the man now downed and calling for help. Talon rushes over to assist the downed man. Colby, what do you do?
I just stand back, observe the situation. I don't come running up. It's clear that there's an accident. One might be hurt, but I'm not in no hurry. I'm not in a hurry to send help. I am, though, curious of the surroundings.
Okay, so
Can I roll?
yeah. What are you rolling for?
just to make sure. Look at my. Oh, just a second.
Okay.
Not signed into D&D Beyond. Just a second. I'm just making sure. I'm very observe my surroundings. Not that I don't want to help, but I'm worried about myself first.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just kind of assess the situation and assume that I can, at that point, approach the vehicle.
Okay, so you're rolling for like a perception just to make sure that there's nobody in the woods, nobody trying to jump you, nothing's out of the ordinary here.
Right.
Okay, yeah, roll perception.
17.
Okay, yeah, so nothing looks out of the ordinary. I would say that the tree being downed the way that it does is, not that abnormal. You look around the woods and scan, and you see a few woodland creatures and everything, but nothing catching your eye. Definitely nothing looking bad at this moment.
Okay, so I see Talon running ahead of me, and I'm gonna go, "Oi! I'll lend a hand, mate." I run over towards Talon.
Okay. So yeah, you two are sitting there and you're working to get this man up. You're trying to help him up, and the man's just sitting there like, please help, please. And you're sitting there and you're lifting the tree, and it's lighter than you would think that a tree would be, especially one of this size. This is a large tree. So you get the man out. His leg is kind of, it looks to be battered. He's kind of limping on it gingerly. And you and Talon each put an arm around this man to kind of hold him up. And he looks at Talon first and he says, "Thank you so much. Tree, I don't know. It fell out of nowhere." And then he looks over at you and he says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it."
No problem.
All right. Yeah. So you've helped the man. Talon kind of dusts him off. He begins to walk back, and you still have an arm around the man. He's kind of he's trying to tough it out, right? He's trying to make sure that his wounds are okay. And as he's down, he's looking and he's checking himself. He actually looks up at you, and he's now smiling. And now, for the first time, you've really gotten a good look at this man. This is a drow elf. He's short and very thin, with gray skin and long white hair, very much slicked back, kind of greaser style. And his eyes are a deep purple. And the one thing that you notice from this man is his eyes almost have an arcane glow to it. And so immediately as you go to help this man and you're assisting him, he looks up at you with a half smile and says, "Arik sends his regards." And he makes a stab at you. So what is your AC?
Shit. Shit. Where is my character? Armor class is 14.
Okay. So this is a surprise attack. He does hit with a 14. So he's going to go ahead and roll damage against you, which is 1. So he stabs you with a 1 damage. And go ahead and let's roll an initiative real quick.
Moving fast.
We're moving very fast.
That's good. I like it.
5.
Okay.
Great initiative.
Okay. So seeing this happen in real time, Talon turns around and his immediate reaction is, what the hell is going on? And so he immediately, you haven't seen him do this, but he immediately reaches and pulls out a short sword that he has been having sheathed behind him. So he's going to, Talon is first. He's going to run up to the man that is currently attacking you. He's going to roll with a 12. That
This Talon's about to defend my honor because I've been nothing but a dick to this.
you have been a little rude, and he is actually going to hit. So I'm going to roll a 1d6. He also does 1 damage. So yeah, he does 1 damage. The drow kind of takes it and just keeps on kind of chugging along. It is now the elf's turn. This elf looks at you and says, "You thought you could escape the church?"
What elf?
The drow elf.
The drow.
Oh, he's drow. Okay.
I'm sorry, the drow.
Mm-hmm.
So he rolled another 14, and he's just going to take a stab at you with his dagger. And this time he does a 3. So
Nice. I got 10 hit points right now.
Icy.
yeah. Go ahead, Colby. It is now your turn. The drow's kind of stabbed you, taking a little bit off of you.
I don't even know all my sneak attacks out the window.
Sneak attack, I don't know that it would be because you do have, well, no, because he is focused on you.
Yeah. And I guess I'll do I'll unsheath my rapier and forgot what I named it. I know this character's name. I mean, is the character I gave you the name for?
Cyrus?
Yeah, no, the drow.
Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yes.
I don't remember what I named him.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes, because I should know him,
Okay.
right?
Yes. His name is Talus.
Talus, that's right. Talus and Talon. Come on, do better. No, I'm kidding.
You're gonna die. That's what's gonna happen.
I'm gonna unsheath my rapier. I don't know what else to fucking do. And go, Talus, son of a bitch. I knew he'd send you. I knew this was you. Did my perception roll not get high enough to catch this shit?
You didn't perceive the man on the cart. You perceived your surroundings. Go ahead and roll your attack.
13.
13 hits. So go ahead and roll your damage.
7.
Okay.
Plus 3 is 10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay. So you lay into this man with one swing of your rapier. It comes down and it hits him right on the neck. And as you're trying to cut through, it actually slices and you cut a major artery on him. And he starts bleeding profusely and slowly drops to the ground. He is dead. And as he dies, as he is dying, I should say, he looks up at you and gives you a speech and says, "You've won. The Church of Bane never forgets, and Arctic never forgives. We know you, and we will find you. Booth." And with that, he passes away. The battle over, things are beginning to settle. Talon looks at you, says, "Friend, are you okay? Do you need any help?"
No worse for wear.
Did you know that man?
I wish I didn't. I wish I could say I didn't. But I'll be honest. I was never here. Were we good?
I think we're good, friend. And as you're saying this again, you notice, this time you notice, Talon is kind of looking at you. You are sort of facing that cart, and you notice the cart is actually kind of moving. You can see visible movement under the cloth that is draped over them, and all of a sudden, the rustling intensifies, and you just hear a break, and all of a sudden, you see the tarp fly up out of nowhere, and a large, imposing figure clearly standing underneath it. And as they Talon turns around and looks at this, there is a large figure, and that figure pulls the cloth off to reveal a druid. Cookie, do you want to go ahead and describe yourself?
Yes. What you see is just a beastly man, very green with even darker green eyes. Doesn't look, looking rough. He certainly is. I mean, he's been tied up, but even outside of that, you can tell he's been through some things. He's not happy. No smile, of course. There's nothing about him that you think would give any good feelings. He's just upset. He's just a mean-looking guy. So, yeah, with that, he kind of finally breaks through, jumps up, and just starts screaming and looks over your way and looks like he's ready for a fight. But obviously he sees the drow laying dead and says, "What happened to him?"
I'll answer that once you tell me how you know this man.
Unfortunately, he got the best of me. He captured me, but he was mine to kill. I wanted to finish him.
And why were you after him?
He captured me, and he's part of the church, obviously, and I don't know. As he was dying, I heard the name Booth, and this is a man that I've been seeking and trying to find, and have not been able to find him. Is that a name you know?
As you're saying this, from behind you, Talon looks over the large druid's shoulder. Actually, this druid's large, and so Talon actually kind of like looks in between. There's a sliver, and down the road, there is actually another gentleman walking towards you, but this one has guns drawn and approaches.
What up? You want me- That's not.
This is your introduction.
What's up, bitches? No, you probably only have one gun out. Just as like a reference. He is carrying like a cane in the other hand, kind of using it as balance. And I think the thing that you would see first is more of like a person who, in any other like stretch of the word, would be like almost overcompensating, trying to blend in. Like hood up, like dark green robe, like as much of him covered as possible, but with this like flourish of, this kind of oddly shaped handgun as he starts to like walk towards you guys.
Mister, we don't want any trouble. We're just coming off a commotion. I don't need any more. Please do not do anything crazy or silly here, okay?
You just
Question real quick. Before we go further. Is a gun something we recognize, or is this something really foreign? Because like that's I just want to make sure
you would recognize it. So in this world of Daggermill, you would know two things. One, magic is pretty scarce. Those who are wielders of magic are kind of elevated almost. And the other is that those of profound minds that are able to tinker are the same way. They are both looked at with kind of this, you've seen it, but it's very rare, and it would be something that catches your eye.
Okay, second question, just so we're, role playing in the right way. Is there a specific thing you want this gun to be called?
You wouldn't know this at that point.
But yeah.
Okay.
So the one that he would like have drawn out, I would say even from probably the distance that you're at, you notice that it is like a I mean, it's a like a pepper box style pistol, so it's 6 barrels basically fused together into kind of a singular barrel. And then as like, I mean, he's not fired it, but like they would rotate or like kind of slowly to chamber into that next set. The the other thing about this one that he has out currently is that it is a like a black steel. At least at this distance is what you can tell. It would be like really dark.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
So yeah, Talon looks through, sees this man, gun drawn, approaching, and is just like, I don't want any part of this. Please do not hurt me.
And just be like, just trying to make sure that there ain't anybody in any trouble down here.
I think we were in trouble. I hope to the gods it's pretty well taken care of.
I'm like, all
I'd
right.
be in trouble if you don't put that pepper box down, sir.
Well, don't give me a reason to do anything else with it, and we won't have any problems. He like takes it and starts to. He just like puts it back in like a holster. Very cute, baby. Sorry, I've got attacked by a 4-year-old. 5-year-old.
I don't,
Jesse,
But
I'm
yeah,
going to...
yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he would continue to walk forward, but
Okay.
like the pistol's not like holstered in the sense of like it's put away to where he couldn't draw it quickly if he needed it.
what's that? Oh, that is me.
All right.
Who are you? What brings you here?
Like I'm just traveling through. I don't usually partake in a lot of this side of the road excitement.
Well, we sound like men in the same cloth, so I'll be on my way.
Sir, but
Where-
before you go, I tell you what, it's only about noon now, but I think I've had enough commotion for one day, and well, seems here I've got myself a new cart, so suppose I could hitch my horse up and ride these two back to Fandalin. You folks heading east, I could take you as far as there.
It's always nice to have a chauffeur, I guess.
What makes you think this? What makes you think this is your cart? He captured me. I need my revenge. This is mine.
Oh, I didn't mean no offense, sir. If you have another horse you can take, then you can more than welcome to take this cart. I was just saying, I've got 2 horses that could pull this buggy, and I could take you as far as Fandalin.
Or how about you just give me one of your horses and I take it myself and let you live.
Oh, sir, I would prefer not. This horse was passed down to me from my father. It's kind of my keepsake.
That means nothing to me.
Talon slowly begins to walk away. He's not trying to have any of that. He's just going to slowly but surely kind of make his way over. He says, look, I'm just going to get on my horse. I'll be leaving. I will let you folks handle your business as you do.
I've already been walking since this whole conversation. It's been- I walked past everyone.
I still think you owe us something for my troubles.
I can give you some berries.
Anything else? Anything a little more valuable?
Are we really about to try and wrestle this guy? He probably doesn't have any money.
Sir, I apologize. I've got a couple of silver from passerbys here today, but I sell berries. If you want more money, I know the town of Fandalin, they've had some trouble and they could sure pay well. But I come down here every morning, I sell my berries, and then I head back around eve. So there's not much I could offer you, especially not this early in the day.
Not a big fan of towns. I've had my troubles and not necessarily looking to head that way unless it brings me to a guy named Booth. Do you know who that is? Have you heard anything about him?
Sir, I have never heard the name of Booth. I don't know a thing about that.
That better be the truth.
Oh, yes, sir, it sure is.
What does Booth?
And with that, I
individual
kind of
do to
just kind of
Sorry.
ignore him. Oh,
you?
yeah.
No, you're good. That's for my worries. It's just if you know anything about him, I'm after him.
Well, what are you after in particular with this man Booth?
Once I find him, we'll see.
Okay. The fella there mentioned word of, huh. He kind of pauses for a second. He gets kind of like a furrowed brow. And he says, never mind. It's not important. And he quickly tries to start walking away.
Yeah, with that, obviously, I say, wait, were you lying to me? Do you know something? I
Oh,
kind of
jeez.
get, I'm definitely in kind of, not a fighting stance since I'm not like in a melee, but, ready to go after him if I need to.
Yeah, so he's terrified at this point. He looks at you and he says, "Sir, all I know is we were lifting that man up. The man that's walking away, he slashed him across the neck, and as that drow fellow was falling to the ground, he called. That's all I know, I swear."
It broke up for like 2 seconds, so I missed.
It's like it broke up during the big part too.
Yeah,
I said,
Okay, I'm glad that wasn't just me.
No, it broke up. For
he
me,
was
too.
as he was getting slashed, he was falling to the ground, and he looked up and he called the man Booth. The man walking away, he called him Booth. That's all I know, sir. Please, I am a simple farmer just trying to make a living in a mining town.
So knowing that he says this other man is Booth, I immediately start running after him and yell at him and just scream out, "Booth, stop."
I do not respond to that name. I just keep walking.
You keep on. As you keep walking, let me just check one thing. Okay. I'll kind of back here and I'll say, "Booth, one more time, stop."
I keep walking.
So with that, make sure this is the right one.
All right. Hey, before you do that, as you're doing this from the road, which by the way, so Cyrus, you're gonna have to help me out here. You were heading to Fandalin originally, but you're walking down the road leading away from it. Is that correct?
Oh, shit. Whatever way's Fandalin is where I'm going.
Okay, so the man on the cart offered to take you to Fandalin, but you didn't want to go to Fandalin. You decided to walk there. So you're walking east towards Fandalin, and
Actually, I'm walking the other way.
okay, so you're
I don't want
not.
anybody- I'm walking the other way, and I may make a U-turn somewhere, but I want to get away from this situation.
Okay, as you're walking to get away from that situation, all of a sudden you hear. Actually, first, what would happen is you would see. First, you see sort of this dark shadow appear hovering above the trees. And I would say all three of you go ahead and make a perception check.
11.
19.
Yeah.
10.
Okay.
Wasn't great.
So Cyrus, you would notice this. The other two, you would understand bits and pieces of it, but immediately, Cyrus, you understand that this is a dragon. What is flying above you is a dragon. You look up and you can see the underbelly. It is glistening. It is white. And that dragon makes one swoop by. And you can tell this immediately starts turning around back towards you.
I don't like that.
Only he can tell that, right? Not
You two just felt a very cold cloud
something
move
cold.
over you.
Okay.
I begrudgingly look up at the situation. Are there trees, things nearby that we can run to for cover? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, your best bet would be to go to the east into the Neverfrost Forest, but there is a little bit of tree cover over to your west heading out towards the water.
Okay. I begrudgingly turn around and yell at everybody, get to the Neverfrost.
Neverfrost is miles away, sir. Do you mean the
forest?
city? Oh, God. Again, Talon is just on edge right now. You guys have scurried
rough out
him.
Yeah.
Get to the Neverfrost. Get to the Neverfrost. I'm working on an accent here. So this is all the Neverfrost. Like we just dart.
To the east, to the right.
Yeah, to the right, east. I
That's
just
a hell
scream
of a
into
run.
the. I mean, do we not have enough time? I mean, it's a
No.
road.
He's right now, he's just flying back and forth. It's almost as if, Cyrus, you would notice this. It's almost as if you're not in initiative. It's almost as if he were flying over and then spotted something and is now coming back.
He's circling back.
He's circling
Yeah,
back.
Yeah, we haven't caught his attention yet. But
Right.
we could. That's why I'm yelling, get to the Neverforest. Or what is it called?
Neverfrost.
I'll just kind of
Neverforest. Go, head east.
move
I
to
was gonna say,
big old.
I don't know of anything else, so I'm chasing after Booth and ready to punch him. As a-
Running after.
I don't know, like, and me running, it's not. I'm a big guy. I'm not small, so it doesn't look like I'm moving very fast, but I cover a lot of ground.
Okay. So,
And so I don't know if I catch him or not.
As you run in the woods, I go running into the woods where I feel like we're good enough and covered. I turn around as you're coming, and I go, slow down, Little John. He's coming running up to him.
He says that, and I'm just completely ignoring him. I'm raring back to just try and punch him as hard as I can.
I forgot. My dog. I started seeing, this is way off. What is it? Billy Joel?
Yeah.
Billy Joel, Yeah? My dog.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, here's the word slow down, freaks the fuck out. I just.
Like, he gets scared.
He gets scared when I was going around the house singing that song. No, it's Billy Joel. Anyway, so I thought I said Elton John. No, I said Little John. I go, slow down, Little John, and you're about to punch me, and I know, I'll stop. Can I use? Is he rearing back? Like, is he about to punch me?
Yeah.
Cookie, how much distance is between you and him at this point, would you say?
Right.
I mean, I would say I'm, within 10 feet. Like, I'm there about.
So where
to punch
y'all
him.
are the accurate placements, you would say?
Yeah.
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 And as I see him rearing back, I go, I can tell you where Booth is.
And as I'm, so close to starting with my punch, I kind of stop and I said, "What? No, you're Booth. This is for you." And I get ready to. I start to cast one of my spells,
Oh.
And I go, you may want to hold off on that real quick. There is a white dragon flying above us.
We're in the trees. That has no means. What do you know about Booth? Are you Booth?
Hey, be quiet for right now. I can tell you all about Booth later. We got bigger. We're not gonna make it out of this if we catch that dragon's attention. So we need to calm the F down.
Yeah.
And trust me, I will give you everything you want. I'd rather not die right now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
As
And I mean,
Cyrus is saying this, you all of a sudden see that shadow fly back over, this time a little larger than before.
yeah, and I would say like ever since breaking out of the cart, I've been in just kind of like almost a fit of rage. Just you could tell, still pissed, still getting over being tied up, and as that comes over, I would say a little bit of realization kind of comes to me, and start to calm down a little bit, and again, I've got a motive that certainly looking, my goal is to find this guy, but if whatever this is flying over top kills me, that's, I'm not going to be able to achieve my goal.
Right.
Boomer, what are you doing?
Yeah, so I would definitely like. I think. Well, let me. I'm just do an insight real quick if I could.
You're breaking up. You were breaking up.
Oh.
Insight to do what?
I was just gonna see if I had any kind of like basically understanding of like how Talon was feeling, but I really at the end of the day, I rolled I don't really understand what he's got going on.
What did you roll?
Just insight to see if I
No,
could
what
pick
did you
up on
roll?
how scared you. A 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would get that he is very scared.
Yeah. But I just like go over to him. Hold on.
And I would actually say at this point, Talon is closer to the man that he just kind of did battle with, because he doesn't know you, the man with the gun, and he doesn't know the druid. He knows that man took down a drow elf and is kind of hitching his wagon to that horse.
That makes sense. Yeah, I would just I guess kind of make my way slowly over towards them, getting a little closer, but still keeping my distance. Not necessarily trying to get into any kind of situation. I mean, do I recognize this Boomer name at all? Is it registering to me in any way? Yeah. I'm Boomer. That's me.
You are Boomer.
Booth.
Booth.
Yeah.
Roll for history.
Okay. 20?
Natural?
No.
Oh, okay.
What we call in the business a dirty 20.
Okay. Yes, you have heard this name, but the way that you've heard it is of legend. You've heard as you have dealt with the underbelly of Neverfrost and some of the other towns around the area, you've definitely heard of this name as somebody well involved in that. Merkhold in particular, Neverfrost, you have heard the name Booth as part of a larger sort of, I would say, network of dark information. But the one thing that you have picked up on, or that you would sort of register to you, is you haven't heard this name in probably 2 to 3 years. It's been a while. For all intents and purposes, that name is dead.
Noted. So yeah, same plan. I would just kind of not stealthily. I'm not trying to be stealthy about it. I'm just trying to stay out of vision from up top, but also maybe get a sight line on both of them.
Gotcha. Okay. As you're doing this, 2 things happen, and they happen almost instantaneously. The first thing that happens is you hear a thunder crashing boom, and the ground around you shakes so tremendously it feels like an earthquake. You would almost immediately register that dragon has landed, and it's landed pretty damn close. The second thing that you would also hear is the voice, a high-pitched voice, kind of quick, kind of going back and forth, kind of lost in thought. And as you all are immediately hearing this dragon, you hear the voice of a young woman who immediately has her face just down, buried in a map, and runs smack dab into Talon, causing him to scream out in pain because she has just ramrodded him, and they're now both lying on the ground around the same time that this dragon just fell to the ground, or came to the ground not too far from you. And that is how we get introduced to Nira.
Let me let Luke in real quick.
So Nira just steamrolls Talon, and Talon's sitting there like, oh my God, this is the worst day, I tell ya.
This poor guy.
This poor fucking guy.
Can we see, like, we just heard the dragon, we can't see where it's at.
If you wanted to roll.
Sure, I will do that. You want perception?
Yeah.
Roll. 18.
Oh yeah, you would see that dragon is, I would actually say it is on the way that this road kind of lies is that it's almost elevated slightly from the edges beside it, but you are able to make out the large wing of the dragon on the other side of the road.
Okay.
Nira, you've just ran over poor Talon, lost in looking at a map.
Oh, okay. So Nira gets up and she offers him a hand.
And first,
And
describe Nira as you're reaching down to pull Talon up, and he's looking at your beautiful figure for the first time. What does he see?
Well, number one, she's the most gorgeous girl in the land. And also she has like pale purple skin with like dark purple hair and like really like how Colby did it. She's wearing like a tiara almost, and she's got this armor on and this cloak on, and she just looks like very regal. And she reaches down to help him up, and she just offers her hand to him, and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
As she does this, Talon looks up at her, and the first thing that he immediately notices is, my God, she's gorgeous. And then the second thing he notices is, my God, she's purple. The drow that we just killed is also purple. I don't see many purple people around here. They must be connected. And he immediately starts trying to back up and scream. And he is, I don't know what's going on.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm here to help. Let me help you.
I don't know.
What don't you know?
And he's kind of looking around now. He knows that he feels like he's in between a rock and a hard place. And he immediately tries to just get up on his own and dust himself off. And you have a very terrified person in front of you who is ready to scream bloody murder.
Okay, if you don't want me to touch you, that's fine. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I don't know. I'm really lost.
Where did you come from? Where are
Well, I
you?
came from. Yeah, where am I?
I need
I
everybody
really
to
don't
roll
know.
a stealth check,
That's not
including Talon.
gonna-
I need to go get my little thing.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not awful. 16.
Okay.
God, I rolled an 8 and I have a plus
Also-
5.
I want to say that as Boomer's like kind of walking towards, still kind of shifting towards everybody, he's got one eye like dragon, and then like the other one over to them, and his goal is to get to this new girl and this guy who's on the ground and be like, "Will you two shut up?"
I rolled an 8 and I'm still just fighting with. What's your name?
Well, no,
Cookie?
no, stop.
Oh, wait, I don't know that.
Morro, what did you roll?
a 12.
All right, Nira.
Oh, I didn't roll. What are we rolling?
A stealth.
Stealth.
I got an 8.
The fight with Little John.
Y'all are lucky Talon rolled high. So as Talon is screaming his head off, you see the dragon slowly take a couple of steps onto the road. And from that road, you hear a low, deep chuckle.
You want the dragon?
I was gonna say I move over to Talon, and I'm about to punch him to shut him up as well, and just kind of menacingly threaten him to be quiet.
Talon looks at you and roll an intimidation.
19.
Talon looks at you and is about to just scream his head off because the only thing he knows is you're trying to hurt everything that you have come across. And he looks at you and he sees you rearing back that fist. And you see two things. One, you see looking into his eyes with that intimidation, you see his eyes flash a different color and almost sparkle. The second thing you see is him go from ultimate panic to calm.
About right, you shut up. We'll talk about this later.
All right.
Are we all needing to like give what we're doing? The second.
I would say, who rolled low? Nira, Cookie, what'd you roll?
Well, for stealth,
Okay, you're fine. Yeah, Nira and Cyrus, what are you doing?
The second that Small Fry directs his attention to somebody else, I'm out of it.
You're running?
Yeah, I'm not running, but I'm heading the other direction. I'm just moving away
Into the
Cyrus?
forest.
into the forest. Yeah,
I'm taking notes.
away from the dragon, into the forest, away from them.
I did end up taking notes, and what I'm going to write is Cyrus runs away, just like Bostak.
I was gonna say that sounds awfully familiar.
This is what we call
Get my
projection.
character.
Yeah.
Also,
All right,
it's a good-
Nira, what are you doing?
What happened?
So you all, Cookie's character was able to intimidate Talon to stop screaming. You are right next to him, but you, again, like you steamrolled him, so you're making a lot of noise right now.
And let me rephrase that. I am not running away. I am running and hiding. That makes sound. I am still watching the situation. I am, and this is
No.
bad, so
I
don't-
understand.
Yeah, but
Nira,
like,
what are you doing?
I'm getting very low to the ground.
Okay, cool. Immediately, Nira begins to duck as you hear the sound of leaves crunching because you rolled an 8. As you start to run away, the leaves and the foliage on the ground beneath you begins to crunch, and all of a sudden you see that white dragon's head snap again with a low, deep chuckle. Nira, Cookie, and Boomer would feel wind beginning to flap at them as the wings begin to lift the dragon off the ground and immediately over the woods to where it hears the branches crackling beneath it. Colby, I need you to make another stealth roll.
I don't like dragon.
Me either. This is I already have 4 less hit points than I started with. I only have 10. Stealth.
Yeah.
3.
Nate.
I have a +5.
Wait, you rolled a 3?
That's
Yes.
So you have an 8.
I have an 8.
So wait, did you roll 13 before?
No, I rolled
8 before.
I rolled 8 before.
Oh, okay. So you've had 2 8s. The dragon is hovering above, but it can't quite make you out. The dragon rolled really low. It has a general sense of where you're at, but it hasn't been able to pinpoint you exactly. The dragon circles once, circles twice, circles a third time, and then goes back to the road where it knows something's there. It sits, it again crashes with that loud, thunderous boom. I know you're there. Come out to play.
And I'm playing with my characters. I know I can get myself out of this situation, but I don't want to leave these other people.
Okay. So what are you doing?
I think I'm going to, at this point, I've hidden. I've gotten away from Hoss here, and I am
Changed his name every
going
day.
to sneak back towards the group. I'm like, and I'm gonna be like, we got to get out of here. He doesn't know where we're. He knows we're here. He doesn't know where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get out of here.
We do. But
Everybody,
if this little person hollers
including
one more
Talon.
time, we're gonna have a bigger problem.
Say that again.
I said if this little sales guy hollers very much more, we're gonna have a bigger problem. We should start
That's true.
headed
Sure.
towards the city.
Oh,
he's gonna have a problem.
I'm not going to say another word. I just want to go home. I just want to see my dad.
Shut.
Yeah, if you want to eat another blackberry again,
All y'all shut up.
Be a little bit more
Just
sympathetic for this male.
shh, that way. Shh. Walk.
so I want us all to sneak further east into the woods.
Okay. Everybody roll stealth. Oh, I got to roll for Talon.
I'm so good at that.
14
And I got to roll for the dragon, which again,
Big dumb
14 and
drag.
7.
Pull my own down.
7. Cookie,
Yeah.
14.
Jesse.
I also got 14.
The dragon is still unable to perceive you.
That's
Big
what
dumb
she did.
dragon, as
dragon.
you continue sneaking into the Neverfrost Forest. I need Boomer and Cyrus to make perception rolls for me, or actually nature rolls for me.
Yeah, no.
I got a 20.
Got a
Okay.
5.
Okay. So Cyrus, you would pick up on this because you two have walked this road many times. You two have been up and down the Fell Road many, many times. You have come across the Neverfrost Forest many times. You would know that the one thing you don't want to do in the Neverfrost Forest is linger. So
The Mirkwood.
Okay. So as I'm getting them further
So
away
I
from
would
the dragon,
say,
I feel
yeah, I would say by now you all have gone about half a mile or so, and you are deep into the Neverfrost Forest.
I tell the group, hey, we have to keep moving. We can't stop. So we got to get out. We've got to go north, further north. Or is Faerun north or what is it called?
Fandalin.
Fandalin. Fandalin is
that
basically
north?
due east. You know, again, because you may have been there, but at the very least, you know that it sits at the base of the Icewind Mountains, which is to your south. So you know it is east, it is southeast of you. You know at some point you're going to have to leave the forest, which probably works out, and start heading east if that's where you're wanting to go.
What's my best bet to prevent any sort of situation where we're hurt and we go? Do I need to go north, east, south? I think go west because the dragon's back west. Do I need to go north, east, south to get out of the forest the quickest and the quickest to Fandalin? I know that.
Yeah, I would say with that 20, you would know that your sight line, you can't see what is known as the Bornir Trail, which runs east to west from the Fell Road over. You would know that it is somewhere at this point back south of you, but you're not quite sure how far into the forest you are.
Okay. I'm going to say, okay, keep moving. We can't stop. We've got to head south.
All right. And everybody, I'm so sorry, roll one more stealth check.
That's a good 7.
16.
I got 17, and then Amber she's in the bathroom. You got 14.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, big dumb dragon. So
Kind of makes sense for a white dragon, though. They're supposed to be like a little more wild.
they're
Assuming that
they're
the same.
yeah, okay. Yeah. So he two things happen. One, you get about another half a mile into the forest. You're about a mile deep into the Neverfrost Forest at this point. As you're traversing along, you see that dark shadow. Now, the Neverfrost is thick. There are bushes, there's wildlife, small wildlife in game, pretty much everywhere you go. But you know, tree cover makes it very, very difficult to see. However, due to the size of this dragon, you still register whenever it flies overhead. And you're able to register the sound of the wings as it flaps away and flies off.
Beautiful. Nice work, folks. I don't want to call you team because I don't know.
Now I point over at Kobe's character. Says, "What do you have to tell me?"
Hey, how about this? Before we get too into this, we are in the middle of goddamn nowhere, trying to get to goddamn somewhere. I will buy the first round for all of y'all, including who are you, sales guy over there? I'll buy you all around at the whatever tavern we come to. If we don't stand out here in the mud and play measurings, we don't need to play the game. We can all have a quiet conversation in a tavern somewhere. Let's get moving.
He slowly shakes and turns to you and says, "My name is Talon Thornwind, and I never want to see you fucking people again. Yeah. So I'm going to Fandalin, and I am going to avoid you at all costs."
That's probably for the best. But.
Yeah, and I look at Cookie's character and I go, "All right, Pipsqueak. I said I'll tell you all you want to know about Bliss, but we can't stop here. We gotta keep going."
Watch your words, little one. And with this, I'm gonna need a round from each of you.
All right.
Does anybody know where we are?
No, we're out in the middle of BFE.
Oh,
I haven't
But for me, you can kind of tell with my guy. I'm not I feel at home here. I'm not.
Cookie,
Not looking. Yeah.
Cookie, roll an Arcana for me.
Eight.
You normally feel at home in the woods, but there's something here that freaks you the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding.
Um,
I'm fine in the woods.
But
Let's leave.
no, you're fucking not.
as you're doing this, as you all are leaving again, Talon is very shaken, and he is kind of he's from Fandalin. He knows the way. He expected to have his horse, but it is what it is, and he is just walking back. And as he does, he turns to you, Nira, and he says, "Hey, I'm sure sorry about all that commotion back there. It's been a day, and I do apologize. My name's Talon Thornwind. How are you, ma'am?"
Hi, my name's Nira. I'm super lost. And where are we going?
So we're currently headed to the town of Fandalin. It is right there at the base of the Icewind Mountains. It's one of the finest mining towns in the whole land.
She like whips out her map and she's like, "Oh, that's where I was going."
Well, I'll be happy to escort you. And he kind of like sticks out his arm, like very gentlemanly and
Just goes, isn't this place a geographical oddity? It's where all of us are fucking going. Let's get moving.
and he actually looks at you. He actually looks at you, Jesse, and he says, "You know, I don't reckon I caught your name either, friend."
Yeah, well, that's because we're just acquaintances, and let's keep going.
"Oh, yeah, yes, sir." And he kind of like,
Nira grabs arm. Hey,
Wait,
his arm.
and I just go, I second that.
Nira grabs Talon's arm, blinks with it, and she says, "Thank you so much, kind sir. Bless you."
That's cute. Let's keep moving.
Please, Grump.
so you all walk.
Hey, I'm gonna get some water.
Yeah.
Is anything about to happen?
No, you're gonna be walking.
All right, I got to get some water.
We had a quick travel, but y'all scared it away.
Listen, I didn't say that.
Hey, what's that town we're headed towards again?
Do what?
Fandalin.
What?
Fandalin
Fandom.
is where you're heading.
Spelled with an F.
Spelled with an F. You can actually, you should be able to. Oh no, because I have to move your tokens, right?
I see that we're on like the
Okay, perfect.
like Ecos or whatever.
Actually, and you know what? I'm gonna try and use this one because this one's a little bit better of a representation. The quality is not as good. I do apologize. I'm gonna have to update the map at some point somehow, but yeah, I'm gonna do that and show y'all where we are currently. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have to update the quality on the map, but basically you are walking along. I'm assuming you just come out of the Neverfrost and you are walking. Are y'all on the trail or are you walking like kind of beside it?
As soon as we can get out of that forest, that's where
Okay.
I'm going.
Yeah, so I would say right now you're about there. You're walking along that Neverfrost Forest kind of line on the on the road. So
I would say like every like probably I don't know every like hour or so if we're gonna be on the road that long, like I'll stop and like just kind of like rub like my leg in that like that spot, like because he's not like hobbled up, but he has definitely got like a permanent limp. That
look,
he just,
it's
like, kind of like stretches out a little bit.
it's a long walk. Again, not one that most people would do. It's typically a pretty good horse ride even. But the fact that you're walking this, it's going to be very difficult on all of you. All of you except for Talon and Nira. Actually, as Talon and Nira walk, they're kind of looking at each other and gossiping in each other's ear and laughing. They formed a quick friendship, and at one point, Nira actually gets a little winded, but you see Talon place his hand on hers, and all of a sudden, they both kind of have a little bit more stamina than they just did. So they're able to keep going. So where your leg's hurting, they're fine.
Or, pass a little bit of that around.
This is something we all pick up on, right?
I would need you to roll perception.
That one.
17.
Yeah, so Jesse would pick up on it very quickly. You would not at all.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say anything. I think I would just kind of make note.
Mm-hmm. And again, understanding this world and that magic is not super looked upon positively. Actually, Jesse, roll a history for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or Cookie, Nira, y'all can as well.
Now Boomer's distracted. Apparently, I can't.
Okay.
Roll history above a 5.
17.
Okay.
16.
Okay, and I would say this would be a group check, so that's fine. I would say, really just to kind of give you a little bit more information, what you understand about magic in Daggermill is wizards are looked at and revered because they went to school for it. Sorcerers are kind of frowned upon because they are born with it, and just almost like X-Men, almost like the mutants, they are kind of looked at with like a side eye. You get the sense from looking at Talon, he is not very learned.
Noted.
So,
What's it
um,
So keeps touching Nira's hand every time she's tired, and then so she feels rejuvenated.
but nobody but Boomer picked up on it.
Nice.
I got a 22.
Well, you're the one receiving it. You would obviously pick up that every time he touches your hand and kind of holds it there for a second, you feel rejuvenated. All right, so yeah, you all are walking. Like I said, it's about midday when you all kind of met, and by now it's getting dark. It is you're probably about what you would venture, Cyrus, from your travels along the Bornir Trail, that you've turned south, heading towards the city of Fandalin, but the town of Fandalin, but you still have a little ways to go.
Okay.
As you continue along, a couple of things that you would notice is that the air itself begins to get noticeably cooler. You're walking south, but the air gets a crispness to it. The wind picks up a little bit. You have now, as you've turned south, the Icewind Mountains directly in front of you, giving off a scenic but ominous setting. You can see the gray clouds continuously swirling above the mountains, just creating snow and ice and wind and rage above you. As you've turned south and heading towards the mountain range, you eventually, as night begins to fall, you eventually find yourself on a larger hill than most. Boomer is struggling quite a bit to make it up this hill. Talon is struggling to make it up this hill. I would say every single one of you are at least trying to catch your breath at some
A little
point.
winded.
Little winded.
Poor Boomer. He's like he's using his cane more to just like lock in and like pull himself forward.
Using it as almost like a ski pole, like to try and get a little bit up further.
Just
Okay.
like, God. Every once in a while, you just hear like a rock shift, and he goes, "Oh fuck!" And he's like, God damn! Like I gotta get a horse. That's what I need. Expert. That's a horse. He's like it's like making notes to himself.
As you say that, you hear Talon from in front of you say, "I had a fine horse, thank you."
I'm just gonna let you know that horse probably got ate by that dragon. You might also need to add a horse to.
You almost hear the sound of like soft crying coming from up front.
That's unfortunate for you.
So, have I been leading this group through the woods this whole time?
No, y'all are out of the woods. You've turned south. You are now cresting the top of a hill. You have been traveling for about 9 hours now.
And we're out of the woods.
Oh yeah, you're very far out of the woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're safe.
Okay.
Cyrus, I would say you are about right, like one dot away from the city dot.
So can we see it? Like we can see Fandalin in the distance?
Not yet, but as you continue to make your way up this hill, you hear Talon's soft sigh and sobs slowly kind of stop, and he starts, you can almost tell he's smiling to himself, and he says, oh, this sight here never gets old to me. You folks are in luck. And as he says that, you reach the top of this hill, and you see below you in the valley, right at the foothills of the Icewind Mountains, a small town.
With a football stadium and a big red razorback.
Yes, that is actually the image I would conjure. Is you crest that exit or whatever it is,
like coming back north.
Coming north on I-49, when you crest that hill and you see the lights of Fayetteville, that's exactly what it is. And as you begin to walk your way back down, you all kind of get a pep in your step. You don't have far. You can very clearly see it down there. And as you do, Talon begins to continue to speak, and he goes, Fandalin is a wonder of a town. We are not very big, mind you, only about 50 or so buildings and 200 to 300 people, but many years ago, there was a giant castle here. You can even still see the stone ruins and entryways around the area if you look closely. So, a couple of years back, when folks discovered these mountains had treasures in them, they set up mines and set up shop, building newer houses on top of the ones that once were. Hell, even with all the trouble as of late, I'd still say you're arriving right at the creation of the town itself. And so you guys continue to walk down, and as you get,
Can I say something?
yeah,
Yeah. Just like every city and empire and anything else, it'll rise, it'll fall, it'll rise, it'll fall, and it'll usually be for a pointless reason.
and Talon looks at you, and he kind of has this like, you're a cheery bunch of folks.
Boomer goes.
Gonna say as we're
real deep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at this point. I'm starting to fall a little bit behind. You can see some hesitation and wanting to go to this city. Just not really interested. I'm still there, still following, but a little bit behind everybody.
Oh, I want to get there. I've been stabbed twice.
So you all continue to walk into the town, and you survey the town as you get closer. You pass a couple of small houses and buildings along your way in. The town is kind of an anomaly. It's exactly like Talon said. It's all very new. The city itself has no walls, no garrison surrounding it, but every building that you come across is damn near brand new construction.
Nice place.
Huh?
But it's a nice place.
Yeah, it's one of the finest. I ain't ever seen any place like it. You go up to the slums in Neverfrost or down to Merkhold even, God's bless you. You ain't ever going to find a place like Fandalin, especially not now. And you continue to make your way into the heart of the town, passing more buildings. And Talon now is starting to tell you about all of the immediate surrounding buildings. He tells you about Barthen's Provisions, where if you need, you can acquire some standard items. You're coming up right on the Stonehill Inn, where you can grab some sleep or a drink for the night. If you're feeling particularly rowdy, you can go down to the Sleeping Giant, which is just down the street, and get a drink as well. It's typically for the rougher folk, though, so keep that in mind. He also mentions the smithy or a woodworker that you guys can go and get anything fixed. And finally, he talks about Miss Adabra up on Umbridge Hill. If they're gonna fix you, she'll fix you up. So finally, you feel your feet. The streets here, while everything's new, the streets are muddy until you reach what would be considered the town square. And this is a shockingly well-kept town square. It's moderately sized, not too large, but you finally come to a stop. You're in this town square, your feet hit stone ground, and you see, even though it's dark, even though it's past nightfall by a couple of hours, you see small merchants lining the outer edges, and they're selling their trinkets and wares. They're starting to close down, but they're still going strong. In the middle, a man is playing the lute and singing. And next to him, you see another woman who's packing up what looks to be maybe a magic show, maybe puppets or something weird like that. She's packing all that up, closing down for the night. As children are kind of lingering around, you can tell they typically perform here. And with that, Talon kind of stops and turns around, and Nira, he kind of lets go of your arm and puts his hand on yours and kind of like, thank you for getting me through these last few hours, because those people are crazy. And he just says to you, well, here we are. If you ever need anything, and I pray to the gods you don't, I'm typically at the exchange during the day, just down to the south, or up at Stonehill. And he kind of sighs, knowing that he already told you about that. In the evening.
I do have a question.
Yeah, of
Who is
course.
that lady that you mentioned?
I'm sorry?
Who is that lady that you mentioned up on Stonehill, Miss?
Oh yeah, Miss Adabra. She's a fine lady, a bit kooky. She kind of tends to herself and spends too much time with her plants and herbs, if you understand what I'm saying. But she's very nice lady for sure.
Is she a healer?
She has been known to help heal wounds of those who need it. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. And you said that we can find you at the exchange.
Yes, ma'am. The Miners Exchange, just down the road, the Moorstone Miners Exchange. That's where I typically my father is a miner, so I typically hang out there and wait for him whenever I'm not down selling my berries. And he looks cautiously over to Cyrus. But yeah, if I'm not there, I'm typically sleeping or taking care of my pops here at Stonehill. And he motions to the building. Oh, sorry.
How old are you, Talon? You wait for your father? Is your father old?
My father, let's just say he's a sickly man. And
No, from the
he says, I'm in my 30s, yes, ma'am. But my father, he's in his 60s. He's typically in fairly good health. He's just and he gets kind of quiet and somber. He's just a little sickly.
Well, has he visited Miss Adabra?
Kind of gives you a hesitation, and he says, Miss Adabra can't fix my father's sickness, unfortunately.
I'm sorry to pry, but as one of the Fae, I must ask, what is your father's illness?
He looks down at his feet. Roll an insight.
Okay. Come on. A 10.
10.
Uh-huh.
He's very, very hesitant to talk about this. This is a very uncomfortable subject for him. And he just says, his illness is one that causes him to lose himself quite a bit, I would say, ma'am. And with that, he apologizes. He goes, I am so sorry. I need to go. If you're heading to the inn, I will see you there. And again, kind of glances over to Cookie and Cyrus, giving them quick glances, and he goes, "But I might be in my room by then, so I will see you all around town." And he quickly
Okay.
walks away over to Stonehill.
Talon, bless you. And may the queen be with you.
And he
And I
turned.
feel like this is time from my queen to help your father. And if you ever want help, just reach out.
He turns around to you and smiles, and he says, "Not many people around here know the queen. There are a few, though."
What queen
And-
are we talking about? It's like a ruler
It's a
around
raven.
here or something? Oh, all right. Good. Deities, got it.
"Oh, sir, I will say here on the Fell Road, most of the people you talk to about queens and kings are gonna be deities."
He I guess my character, I haven't said his name technically, but yeah, Boomer unties part of his overcloak that's been covering him, and you can see a vestige of the Raven Queen on just basically his lapel, and he's like, I'm aware. Ties it back up.
Talon looks at you.
Well,
Mm-hmm. Say that one more time. Sorry.
you're a follower of the Raven Queen as well?
I mean, everybody's got somebody, right?
Yes, but she's very special to me.
She's pretty special lady.
At this point, I kind of grunt and step in and said, "All right, enough of this small talk. I thought there was a drink." I kind of look over to Talon and
Talon
think about
is-
to rub him up and
The second
already
you start
gone?
talking, he starts running away. Not walking, he starts running.
He's out.
He is
alright.
gone.
good
Quick
riddance
question,
of him.
Brian, is-
Where's the bar?
Do I know a place to sleep besides the inn? And is it the Green Giant or Sleeping Giant?
Sleeping Giant is a
It's like a rowdy bar, right?
Sleeping Giant is a bar. You would
I know
not.
it's a bar.
They do not. I guess the one thing I would ask you: has Cyrus been to Fandalin before?
I feel like he has.
Okay, so he would
Knew
know
he
there
was
are
gone.
no beds. The only way that you sleep is on the floor. If you get knocked out.
Okay.
Get the shit knocked out.
Okay. All right. Then my question is: there's somewhere else other than the inn that he knows he can go sleep at?
There is nowhere. There is nowhere unoccupied that he could sleep at outside of Stonehill Inn. But if
Alright,
he's
cool.
been in these
Well-
parts, he knows that Stonehill is a very reputable and well-ran establishment.
Okay, gotcha. So this is what I'm gonna go. All right.
Quick note, it's also where the primary bar is.
Oh, okay.
Stonehill Inn is a bar on the first floor with rooms above.
Pretty typical tavern.
Typically, yeah, a tavern.
But is the Sleeping Giant more of a rowdy bar?
Roll a
I feel
history.
Like I should already know that.
I feel like you should,
Well,
so
I
I'm going
got
to
a-
be
I got a
lenient.
21.
Huh?
I got a 21.
Okay. So you would know that the tavern is a notorious hotspot for bandit camps, particularly the Blue Brand Brawlers, which are a traveling group of bandits that their primary goal is to cause chaos. That's all they're there for.
So I look at Furball here. I go, hey, because he is furry, right?
I wouldn't say furry, but I'm definitely not clean. There's a roughness to him.
Okay. At this point, I finally go, what's your name?
You give me the answers you need, and then we'll talk, or the answers I need, and then we'll talk. So it's time for us to grab a drink.
Trust me, friend. I will give you all the answers. Just give me your name. I already calling you Pipsqueak, Little John, Small Fry.
You keep that up, and you won't be calling anyone anything anymore. So you can watch your tongue and
We're just
go
we're
get
just
the answers first.
we're
Fine,
like
I'm gonna call you SOB from here on out.
we're
Jesse,
just like
what?
standing in the middle of like the road while they're having
Yes.
this conversation.
Yeah.
You
Boomer's
all
like,
are.
if you like, I'm done standing. I'm going over here, and I point to the Stonehill Inn because my ass sleeping giant's not where I'm interested currently.
Yeah. Actually,
well, I
somebody roll a perception.
Well, first, this is what I'm saying is, if you want to drink, I'm heading to the sleeping
12.
giant.
Who it was, and not that I know his name, but Boomer was the one that offered the
Yeah.
drinks first.
Yeah.
Right, the rounds.
Yeah.
And I
said-
would say,
Okay.
and I
Oh
like
no,
as I start
let me
heading that
rephrase that.
direction, I would just say, listen, I understand the sleeping giant might be more fun, but if we're trying to have a conversation, you're not going to get shit done.
Well, no, let me say this: if you want answers, I'm going to the sleeping giant.
All right, well, I don't.
As he says that, I reach out and grab him, just grab him by the top of his jacket or whatever he's wearing, his coat, and say, "No, you're coming with us," with just my huge strength, and start pulling him that way.
Really quickly,
Mm.
Cookie,
That's what I attempt to do.
Cookie, roll a strength check.
I rolled a perception of 18, by the way.
Okay, so what you all would immediately notice is as you're having this argumentative conversation, directly to the right of you is a shrine of some sort. It is very clearly a holy place that you are standing directly next to, having this argumentative conversation.
Get going.
I
And-
still am
and-
attempting to pull him. I rolled a 12.
What were you gonna say, Nira?
And Cyrus is the only one who notices this.
You haven't rolled.
No,
perception.
I would say it's a group check. It would be pretty clear to all of you that this is a holy place right next to you. Cookie with a 12.
I rolled an acrobatics.
Yeah, Cookie with a 12 against a 21. You go to grab him, and you just see Cyrus give you the quick shoulder and slip out immediately. And so, yeah. So, okay, we have Boomer walking towards the sleeping giant, Cyrus slipping out and continuing to walk toward, or I'm sorry, Boomer walking towards Stonehill, Cyrus continuing to walk past and walk towards sleeping giant.
Yeah.
All right, Nira, what are you doing?
I'm going to that little shrine.
Okay, Nira's going to the shrine.
I'll split up.
Cookie, what are you doing?
I'm going after Colby's character.
Okay, so we've got two of you going to the sleeping giant, one at Stonehill and one at Shrine of Luck. I'm going to start with Nira. Nira, you approach the shrine. It is directly like you get to the town square, it's right there to your right. It's a very large shrine that's kind of over in the corner of this town square. Again, everything's pretty nice here, including this shrine. It's not a temple by any means, but it is large enough for a singular person to go in, close the door behind them, and pray to whatever god is there. So the shrine, it is rocks. You gather that it is rocks from the nearby mines and the nearby mountains. It is beautiful gray stone, carved down, just polished as can be. It is a beautiful shrine. And at the shrine, the door is closed.
So I observe the shrine and try to find out what deity it is dedicated to.
Okay. Go ahead and make a I guess an investigation, but you can use advantage on that because you are holy.
Rolling for shit. Okay, 14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
I would say you notice that give me just a second. Okay. So I would say that you notice that it is a shrine with various accoutrement and symbols of luck. You would be able to deduce that this is a shrine to the goddess Timora, the goddess of good luck and faith. So, yeah, that's about what you can make out.
Okay, so Myra goes up to it and she says, "Bless you," and then decides to go where everyone else is going,
Okay.
to the sleeping giant.
Okay, you're going to the sleeping giant.
Yeah.
Okay. We're actually going to go to Stonehill next. And so, yeah, Jesse, walking up to Stonehill Inn, you would immediately notice that, it is a nicer tavern than you would have expected. It is a 3-story building with a blue roof and white siding. Nice painted siding. And in front of it is a post with a bright yellow sign. Behind it, the door frame leading into the inn is a bright yellow door. Across the door, in golden letters, is written the word Stonehill Inn. You enter, and you notice immediately to your right, there is a large bar with casks of ale and what you can assume is wine in there. You also notice that there is a gentleman working behind the bar. He's got large crates in his hand. He's trying to bring them over. Throughout the tables, there's a couple of people scattered here and there. At the end of the bar, you do see an older man, a patron, kind of half asleep with a drink in one hand.
Yeah, so do they have I don't know, hooks for your like cloaks and stuff?
They don't have a hook, but what they have is kind of like a half-cut barrel that you can store different umbrellas or canes or something in this barrel.
So if there's no place to hang it up like a coat rack, essentially, he just leaves it on. But immediately, first thing, he's like, I just want to go up to the bar and just figure out some place to stay for the evening.
Okay. Yeah. So as you walk up to the bar again, there's one person behind it. He's got just tons of boxes in front of him. The boxes are so high, you actually can't even make out what this person is behind them. You don't know if it's a man, woman, human, what kind of race. You just see boxes. And you hear a voice, I'll be with you in a minute. And he sets them.
You got a lot of crates there, bud.
He sets them down, and he kind of you still haven't seen this person, but you hear him say, "You don't know the half of it. People came in earlier, drank me damn near out of everything."
Well, hopefully you got a little bit of something left.
I think I can help you out. And with that, he steps to the side, and behind the bar, you see a man, roughly about 5'9", 5'10" or so, slim figure with a long kind of pulled back ponytail that he's actually got it's you can tell it's in a ponytail most of the time because of the way that the hair is kind of waving down. But right now it's just all wild. It is just down around his shoulders. He also has a very fashionable goatee. You would say this is an attractive man that's somehow working behind the bar in the city of Fandalin. Yeah.
It's small town for somebody of your, looks like upbringing. Looks like you take care of yourself a little better than some of these farmers around here.
Well, the interesting thing about Fandalin is that most of us aren't from around here. We actually come from different places all over the continent, all over the world, actually. So it's not just me that's kind of out of the ordinary. It's pretty much everyone you come across.
Real melting pot, huh?
You could say that. What can I get you?
Well, first off, a room, and then a place to put all this stuff, and then maybe a pint of wine, potentially, I guess, if you got any.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got, let's see, we've got a couple of different ales on tap for you. We also have a white wine as well as a red wine. So it'll really be kind of what your poison is. We actually just got in a really, really special wine from down in Boulder's Gate. It is a Jasmine Shadow. It's got super fruity floral notes to it. It's very nice. It is going to be a little bit pricier, but we do have that option as well. In addition to our, what I would call our house red and house white. The red is actually a local wine from the Dorset Winery from just up north, right above Neverfrost, I believe.
At that, he's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna handle on that one. Let's get the room squared away, and I'll come back down for a bottle of the good stuff.
Sure, sounds good. A room here is going to cost you about 15 silver.
He's like, all right. So he places 1 gold on the counter. He's like, that should cover me. Well, no. So 15 silver. So it's a gold and a half. So he puts 2 gold down on the table.
Okay.
And he like pushes him towards him, and he's like, I want the room, and then the remainder is just keep filling my glass up until I go to bed.
He looks at the 2 gold and he's like, yeah, I can do that for sure. What was your name?
He just goes, friends call me Boomer, so hopefully we can be friends.
I think we can, Boomer. And he kind of looks under the cabinet, pulls out a box, opens it up, and is sitting there, and he's like, 102, 104. Oh, perfect. And he hands you these keys. The interesting thing you would note about these keys is they're actually on what looks to be a very long tail of some sort. And he takes the tail, hands it over to you, and says, I'm actually going to put you in the Stonehill Suite. It's the nicest room. You go up the stairs 2 levels, go to the very end of and then he takes a look at you and he says, sir, would you prefer a second floor room versus a third?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Okay, no problem at all. He takes a minute and
Wobbly a little bit.
yeah. He sees you, your demeanor, you're worn out, you are hobbling sort of. So he sees your demeanor. He's like, I'm gonna get you a different room. So he pulls out another one and he says, I apologize. The Stonehill Suite is the nicest room we have. We do have the Timora Suite, which is just as nice. Gonna be a little bit smaller in the bath area, but I think it should fit your liking just fine. And he hands you this one. This one is actually on what appears to be like a pressed clover. That's the keychain that this one is. So he hands that one to you, says, same kind of deal as before. You go up the stairs, 2nd floor, all the way to the end. You can't miss it.
Perfect. He's like, there spot I can get like cleaned up here, or do I need to go find a stable to go wash off in?
Each of our suites come with a nice bath. The hot, if you would like your water warmed up, we actually have a coal station down at the end of each hallway, which is very near where your room is as you're staying in the suite. So you can actually take your water there, heat it up, and then pull it into your room for the hottest water.
Perfect. So he thanks him for his time. He says, I'll be back down when I'm a little more acceptable. And then just goes, don't forget, keep the glass filled whenever I come back. And then he is going to go upstairs and shed all of the like outer layers, set his clothes up very like nicely on the bed. Like he is like very like meticulous about like how he's like placing these things to where they don't get like wrinkled or all that stuff. The only thing that he is going to do, so he'll like get the bath all situated, and he like ice cold bath, doesn't look at the hot like at all. and the only thing he keeps with him, like right next to him, is the cane and both of his pistols.
Okay.
So, and he's gonna soak for an hour,
Okay.
and then go downstairs and start drinking, waiting for the rest of them. I will say that what he will do, just as like a thing, once he gets down there, assuming that everybody hasn't showed back up, he's gonna find, like, if there's like a kid or somebody that looks like they're just like a little down on their luck that's like drinking, and he's gonna pass them 2 silver to run a note to the sleeping giant to get the druid. He'll just like give them like a brief description of like the druid, and to bring them, like, just to give them a note that says, meet me back here when you guys are ready to be a little more civilized.
Did you do this before or after he went upstairs?
This would be like after, like, he would go upstairs, take care of all that stuff, and then go down, and then, like I said, assuming if they're not back yet by that time, he would send somebody to try and go and like
Okay.
get them.
Gotcha. Okay. So Boomer is upstairs in his Timora suite, currently soaking in an ice bath. Imagine Gerald in this gigantic like wooden tub, just soaking. There's no scorpions or anything that hop in. There's no unicorns. It's just him. You do have the white hair like Gerald too. So,
well, and that's like, I think the thing too is like all day it's been like tied up, like real tight, stay under the hood. This is like the first time that he's actually just kind of just
let it
had a
go.
second to just,
Yeah.
like, and I would assume that he's been on the road for a while before this event, so this is just kind of his pretty normal come back to life, routine.
Yeah.
Put your hair down, girl.
Long, frosty black and white hair.
Beautiful.
Oh, black and white. That's awesome. I
Yeah,
didn't
so he's
realize
like
that.
he's like super like gray. The gray that is peeking through is like ice white. But yeah,
I feel that pretty hard. Okay.
like there's some realness.
Yeah. All right. So Boomer is upstairs taking his ice bath. We are going to move over to the sleeping giant. So Cyrus and Cookie, you still haven't said your name to anybody, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I think you all are being really coy with your names. So yeah, Cyrus and Cookie are going into the bar, the sleeping giant. The bar at the end of the street is, it's nighttime, but from everything that you have seen in this town, this is the only building in the city that does not look brand spanking new. As you approach, you can also tell that this was not an aesthetic choice on their part. This is because there is a ton of nicks, there's a ton of scorch marks, there's a ton of like damage to every single piece of this building. It almost gives off a foreboding kind of acknowledgement of what is awaiting you inside. And as you enter this bar, it's actually an interesting layout because the bar sits in the center. It is actually kind of a circular bar where there are casks of ale behind, like in the center of this circle, and there are tables lining the outer rim of the bar. Along the bar there are bar stools, so you can actually sit in this circle along the bar. There is one barkeep behind Manning as well. The thing that you most immediately notice is the smell. This smells like 3 things. It smells like ale, it smells like pipeweed, and it smells like shit. So there is a combination of things going on here that does not please your senses. I would say, especially a druid who avoids towns, you would be immediately put off to this. Cyrus, you've dealt in the underbelly. This place stinks, but it's not the worst thing you've smelled going to like Merkhold or Neverfrost. Cookie, you walk in and you immediately want to walk back out. You might not say it out loud, but you are thinking, I immediately regret this decision. I should have gone to Stonehill. The dark wood of the bar, the surrounding tables, everything is marked with scuffs, pock marks. You know that these are used for seating and fighting. So you approach the bar, you notice a thin human. He's got short jet black hair that is slicked back. And the bar is actually shockingly empty.
And this is where I go, my jolly green giant. Let me buy you a drink. And I go, barkeep, can I get no, I'm trying to keep this. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
just hit them. Can I get two finest drink?
I need you both to roll a perception. Cookie with disadvantage.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, I rolled a 2.
16
I got a 5.
That's with your disadvantage?
with a disadvantage. Yeah.
Okay.
Damn.
So you would notice, Cookie, that you are like the barkeep kind of gives you guys an odd look. And like as you enter, you probably couldn't see this immediately, but he kind of glances over his shoulder and you notice, Cyrus, you're like walking to the bar, you're just like posting up, you're just gonna chill. But Cookie, you look behind and notice that there are broken glasses and water everywhere in the back. And the barkeep looks at you, he's cleaning a glass and he looks at you and he says, "You'll have to find somewhere
What?
else to drink tonight."
The first part broke up again.
He looks at you and says, "We're closed. You'll have to find somewhere else to drink tonight."
Then I look over at Colby's character. I don't think I know your character's name.
Cyrus.
Right?
You
I don't
you
think
know
him.
you
I
know him as Booth. That's the
Yeah, I
only
only
thing
know
that
him
you
as
have heard
Booth, but he-
anybody call him.
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah. You owe me whatever I say. You owe me a drink and some answers. So if they can't give us a drink here, we need to go somewhere they can.
What are our other options?
The bartender looks at you and he says,
No. You already told us this. We had the
Stonehill.
"Stonehill
Stonehill?
and Sleeping Giant."
Sleeping Giant. Let me real quick in Thieves Camp
Okay.
go. Do we need to? Are you closed or do we need to leave?
So you're sitting at the bar. You would recognize this. Cookie, you're still a little bit far behind. Like you're more at the entrance, whereas Cyrus, you're right up at the bar. You would notice that this man turns to you, and as he does, you notice a black glyph sort of right in the center of his forehead. And he gives you kind of an awkward, I'm not sure I understand, but as you're saying this, it starts to formulate in his mind. And he says, "You speak a language not many do. The kind of people that
Cookie or me?
you,
Okay.
yeah. You speak a language not many people do. People like you did this." And he turns and he shows you the broken tables, the broken glasses, everything like that. And he says, "We're closed until I can clean that shit up. So you'll have to go to Stonehill if you want to drink."
I'm gonna again staying in Thieves Camp.
You're both
Explain
talking
to-
in Thieves' Can at this point.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Listen, I need to get rid of this guy, and it would be really helpful if we could have one drink. I finish that drink. You cause a distraction for me to get away. I'll figure that part out. Can we make that happen, or do we need to leave?
Make a persuasion. while I pull up his.
I have a +7 and
DC.
I rolled a 3.
He looks at you and he says, I need you to understand that what has happened here is caused by people like you. I do not care what you need to say. I need you to leave.
I obviously have no
go-
idea what's going on, but you can
You-
tell I'm starting to get pissed. And
You hear, and I would actually say about this time, Nira also walks in. Nira, again, immediately, you are not used to a smell. You especially. In fact, I would say,
I'm about to use it.
I would actually say, Nira, roll a survival.
Got a 19.
Nira, this smell is so bad. Your first instinct is to, and you want to throw up everywhere. You are dry heaving and you are doing everything you can to keep this down, but you keep it together. You don't throw up, and you look over to the druid who is kind of right next to you at the doorway entry. And then you look over to Cyrus and you just see Cyrus, or you hear Cyrus and this bartender talking in this weird dialect.
Oh my god, are you guys not about to throw up?
And this is when I look back at the bartender and go, when was the last time you had that hot a piece in this bar? Are you sure you want us to leave?
What are you talking about?
He looks he looks back at Nira and
Persuasion check. This is another.
no, this isn't a persuasion check. He actually looks over at Nira. This is a continuation of your previous. He looks over at Nira, sees this gorgeous woman dry heaving. He also notices a couple of things. He notices her skin tone, and he notices her armor. And he looks back to you, Cyrus, and he says, 2 gold, you can stay. 1 drink, and then you get out.
How much?
2 gold.
2 gold. Hard bargain.
Vincent. It's anything but a bargain.
I'm thinking about my character's motives here.
Does your character have 2 gold?
That's a good question.
I have 15 gold.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Nira's acting as well.
I do. That was good. I liked it.
I like the dry heave.
And I'm saying it all in Can't Thieves. Still, you drive a hard bargain. Just know, you will owe me someday. I guarantee it. I give him 2 gold.
He takes the 2 gold that you slide across, and he goes, man, I don't owe you shit. What kind of drink do you want? I've got ale and ale.
Better be your best ale.
Most expensive ale you've ever drank in your life.
He turns back around. He turns back towards the door, looks at Nira and Cookie, and kind of gives like a, you're good. Your friends paid for the 1 drink.
Oh wait, that's what I say then. I drink here for free from here on out.
He said, he turns back to you and smiles and says, you can try.
No.
Wait, guys, I'm so lost. I don't know where I'm at. I tried to make it here, but like I'm not really sure what's going on. What are you guys all doing together?
I just throw her a beer. I just slide it down to her.
Yeah, he pours
ale.
3 ales, sets them all down. You take one, slide it down to Nira.
And then I go.
Nira, has your character ever seen ale?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I go, Mother Teresa, how about you join us? And then we go find a bar, a booth, or something to sit in. Table.
There.
something to
Okay.
sit
I was getting.
All
What
right.
do you do?
What?
You find it.
So no, we go set
I'm
it up.
gonna, I go find a table to sit at.
Yeah.
Of
So
course.
so you notice most of the tables at the back are again either wet, broken, or have just shattered glass all around them. So you find a table that's in pretty decent shape, at least shape enough to hold a large druid, and you kind of make camp there at the front. It's kind of near the entryway, but it's about 2 or 3 tables, sort of more in the center of the room, if you will, the front center of the room.
What happened here?
Wait, just real quick. I have made that agreement that the guy will interfere when I finish my drink, right?
You don't know. You know that you gave him 2 gold for 1 round of drinks. He did not agree to anything. He simply said 1 drink and then you're gone.
Shit.
He
Can I go
never
back?
agreed.
Fuck. I just realized that.
Better drink slow, motherfucker.
At this point, you could tell I'm still fuming, and at this point, I'm just saying, all right, it's time for answers.
Can I go back and have that conversation at this point? Like, give me at least. I need this for the whole reason I gave 2 gold up was to get out of this.
Why are you so upset?
This one owes me answers.
Cyrus walks over to the bar. Nira and Cookie are speaking.
Okay, I walk back to the bar.
No, Nira and Cookie are speaking right now.
Okay, yeah, that's a good call. I'm gonna get a drink.
Yeah,
what answers-
this one owes me answers. I heard him called the name Booth, and I'm after that man. He says he has some answers, so until I have those, I'll either beat him out of him or he'll tell me. But either way, I'm getting my answer.
Violence isn't always the answer. I think that sometimes the answer is just found in things we see around us.
You haven't seen the things that I've seen.
What
Once you
does
have,
this man-
I was gonna say, once you have, you'd have a different opinion. You seem naive.
You have no idea what I've seen. You have no idea how old I am.
Yeah, and if you've seen the things that I've seen, you wouldn't have the same opinion.
That's not true. By the grace of the Raven Queen, I'm able to let go.
Well, there's
Of the
where you go
board.
wrong. All these gods everyone worships, yeah, they're here, but they're not anyone to worship. All I've seen is evil from these gods.
Got that right, Yao Ming.
Or from across the bar. And... What's talking about?
Took me a second to go here, did there?
That's interesting, and I appreciate what you have to say. I just think that, if there's violence to be had, shouldn't he be heard out first?
I'll give him that opportunity, but he's running my patience thin.
And where do you come from, Druid?
I don't have a home, so that's a story for another time.
I'm so sorry. Well, that's interesting, but also very uninteresting at the same time. So little information for me to work off of. I feel like there's a lot hidden, but there's a lot revealed. And the balance is perfect.
With
Oh,
that,
got
with that, Cookie gives you just a weird kind of, I'm gonna just drink my drink. All right, Colby, we're back at the bar.
Yeah.
All right, you son of a bitch! I just gave you 2 gold. When we finish our drinks, I need you to cause a distraction, so I can get out of here. My friend, come on, buddy.
Make another persuasion.
It's the whole reason I built this character. 24.
He looks at you, and at this point, his back's turned to you, and you just see his shoulders slump. And he turns back around, and he just says, what do you want?
Listen, I am trying to get away from the, what do you want to call it? The man with the large stature. And honestly, I have no clue who this woman is other than the fact that she just started following us 9 hours ago. I don't give a shit about her. What I want to do is get away from him as soon as possible. The sooner the better. But I haven't had an opportunity to for a long while. This is my best chance. I thought this place would be a little bit more rowdy tonight. So I don't know how or well you can do this, but he's got some questions to ask me. I will drink accordingly. And when my L ends at the bottom, and I'm thinking right now that probably in this era, there's probably not a see-through glass. Come check on it every once in a while. But I need you to cause a disturbance for me to slip away. Or, A, I can just be like, I gotta go in the restroom. And he never sees me again.
Cookie,
Long as
make
you
a
make sure-
perception check.
Okay. 22.
Yeah, so this time when Cyrus goes to the bar, he's speaking in common and he's speaking quite loudly. You can actually start to make out words of what he is saying.
What? I'm speaking thieves' cant.
You never said that.
I thought
You never said you are speaking in thieves' cant as you approach
Hilarious.
the bar.
I'm not
So-
drunk.
You did.
All right,
So
screw that. That's the whole reason I'm using thieves' cant. Yeah, you know I'm using thieves' cant. I'm gonna argue there. Secondary DM.
Listen, I'm just here to have a good time.
from now on, if you re-engage a conversation after you have left it, you have to say, I am doing this action again. Otherwise,
Okay.
like that, you
That's
you
fair.
understand how that persuasion roll was carried over. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
You had to roll a new persuasion. Your thieves' cant also would have been reset at that moment. I will let it go. However, I will say this. All right. So the bartender looks at you and just says, just stop talking, okay? It's been a long day. When you need, I will tell them you have to leave. You have somewhere to go. I don't care. I will do this. I will create the distraction for 1 more gold.
What if? And I'm still in thieves' cant. What if, though, I shall owe you a favor?
I do not need favors. I am favored by many. I am in need of nothing from you. Friend, I know your kind. I know the kind of person you are. The kind of person that can walk into my bar and speak the hidden language. I know that person because I deal with them day in and day out. You are not a person that I want to do business with. But I am because you are paying me. So if you continue to pay me, we can continue to do business.
There's
Does
no,
Nyra-
it's all thieves can't. All right, I will give you another gold, but I will forever, never have to pay for another drink in this bar.
He smiles at you and he smiles at you and he places that empty glass down that he's been cleaning and he says, if you ever want this field again, you will pay. Because again, I am not kind. I am helping you for your money.
I roll intimidation.
Sure. What are you intimidating with?
I'm saying that like, just you don't want me back here. Or you do, but you don't.
Okay. You do, but you don't, is your intimidation.
You can, but you won't.
Roll with disadvantage.
Oh,
Oh,
22.
shit. What are you gonna do now, bartender?
Set the DC higher.
Well, I don't think, no, there's no way. Yeah. Um, next time you return, drinks are on the house. The time after that, drinks are on the house. The third time you return in my bar, you pay. It's best I can do.
What is your name again?
My name? Shanjan. Shanjan Khan.
Chung.
No, that's not it.
I'm not good with names.
He looks at you and you see the black, you have noticed this black glyph in the center of his forehead. It is vibrant at this moment. As you are insulting him, it is vibrant. And you see his hand, the one that was just washing this glass, turn to black. And he sets it on the counter. And he says, my name is Shanjan Khan. Do well to remember this. And he says this in common that everyone can hear him.
Okay. And can I roll history to know what that means?
You would need to roll Arcana.
Arcana. Okay. Fuck. Fixed.
It is a black glyph on the center of his forehead.
All right, friend. And that's just what I call him. All right, friend. Sounds good to me. Here's another fucking gold.
Poor. Y'all are all poor.
He takes that gold and slides it over and says, let me know when you need to potty.
When I need to potty? Potty? Take a shit?
Yes, you asked for distraction, did you not?
What?
You asked for distraction, did you not? You said you would leave, go to outhouse. Did you not?
No. Well, yeah. I would. Yeah,
What kind of distraction am I going to cause? Do you see my bar? It is half turned over. Again, he is yelling at you in common. Do you see my bar? It is half turned over. How dare you? And then he goes back to Thieves' Cant and he says, do you want my help? This is how I help. You told me your plan. I try and help with plan. That is best I can do.
All right, fuck off. All right, fine, whatever. God damn it. And I'm walking away with tears.
Nira and Cookie both roll a perception. Because again, he at moments was speaking in common. I would say both of you would understand that there were shouts coming from the bar. Nira, you would have picked up on the fact that at some point, Cyrus will have to use the restroom.
I'm just dancing and I'm like, he's got a poo-poo.
All right, so Cyrus, you walk back over.
I sit down with the drinks. I set them down.
You have
like,
another round of drinks at this point?
No, I don't have another round, but I
Okay.
can go get them for a while. So I sit down and I go. Second.
Oh, this song is my favorite song.
Wait just a second. All right, you skyscraper. What the? Okay. I just sat down kind of begrudgingly, like, okay, what do you want with Booth?
I've been looking for him for a long time. He has something to do with, he has something to do with my past and some things that have happened to me. Needless to say, there's payback involved, and I need to find him.
Tell me more.
I sigh and hesitate, and at this point, I'm not wanting to give him a ton of information, and I just kind of say some bad things happened in my past, my family, my friends, and he was involved. So he's one I'm looking for to get revenge for that.
Got it. Booth did me wrong as well. He screwed my family over as well, and I'd like to get revenge for him too. Last I saw him though was many years ago. Where's our map?
Look in the chat would be.
While you say
Okay.
that, I say, so you are not this Booth? What is your name?
My name's Goodfellow.
Good fellow.
Cyrus,
So far, you're not a good fellow.
Cyrus, roll deception with a disadvantage.
Roll which one?
Deception with a disadvantage.
How do I roll it with a
So
disadvantage?
you roll it twice.
Roll it twice, take
Uh-huh.
the lower of the two numbers.
Okay.
So you got a 17, and then you get a
26.
So you got 17.
17.
Cookie, what is your... Okay.
What's the town? Water, not water deep, but it starts
Deep
with a
water?
W.
There's
not
Winter
Deep
Toll.
Water.
There's Winter Toll, which is to the north, and Deep Water, which is far to the south.
It's on the coast. I can't find the map.
They're both on the coast. Winter Toll is to the top north. Deep Water's to the bottom.
No, Merkel.
Oh, okay.
Last time I last time I heard a booth popping up was in Merkel.
So you are not this Booth? What is your name?
I already told you it's good. It's Goodfellow.
Okay. Wasn't sure if we actually had that.
Ah.
So what are you seeking with this Booth? You said he did wrong to you as well. Why is it that you want to find him?
I have no animosity to it. Animosity. I have no. Jason Statham. Yeah, I have no animosity to him. I'm merely entertaining your question. I merely know where I last saw him, but at this point, it's no point in going after. Last I heard, he was on a ship off the coast of Sandkeep that sunk. He's dead.
How do you know? Have you seen his body? Do you know he's dead?
I mean, can't swim.
That sounds like something to find out for myself. I think that's where I want to go next.
I wish you the best. Merkhold is a treacherous path, but I think a guy of your stature should surely be able to do that on their own. So I mean, I don't see any point at this juncture for us to go beyond this.
How did you find out about this?
How did I find out about this? It was, I was on the same path as you. I was too very angry, and I was tracking him from Deepwater. And like I said, when I got to Merkhold, that was who I found there. Was telling me that yes, they know Booth, the connections I had, and they said he was on some sort of slaver run, and but his ship was unfortunately attacked or something like that, and it sunk near Sandkeep off the coast.
So
Stop.
you're telling me you
Stop.
were? Oh,
Cookie, I need you to roll an insight check, and Colby, I need you to roll another deception with disadvantage.
19.
Deception with disadvantage. Oh shit, a 10.
Well, that's your disadvantage. Um,
And a 14.
Cookie, as he's speaking, you get two senses. The first one is you get the sense that he feels like you want to kill him. He gets the sense that you are he feels like you are looking for the end boss, and this Booth character, he can lead you to that. You also get the sense that he knows more than he's letting on. So on one hand, you get a sense that he's a little nervous. On the other, you get a sense that he's pretty damn good at this.
Interesting. Okay. So listen. Wow. First approach. You said you were mad at him and seeking a similar revenge. So you say. So hearing that he was dead, that just made you stop. That's it.
Had no other recourse to go.
If he's done anything like what he's done to you, that wouldn't be enough. There's got to be more. And as I say that, it got to be more. Rather than in the past, he seen me threaten with trying to punch and fight him. Instead, I bring out my hand, and you kind of start to see some magic swirling in my hand. Unsure what it is, but kind of a light purplish color of something that I'm wanting to do to him, and to say, listen, all I'm looking for is answers.
Friend, I wish I had the answers for you. I truly do. It's something that, when these things happen, and the people that do you wrong, and you sit out there, what's the word? Vengeance. It eats at you, and then what are you gonna do? Really, if you catch him and you kill him, what are you gonna do? What does that solve? Does that bring back the people you lost? Does that solve the pain you feel and the hurt, so on?
No, but he was working for some people that I think I know. I know he caused it, but there's even more to that. He was working for a group I'm after, so he's only the first domino that I want gone. If he's gone, there's more to it that I'm after.
Friend, like I told you, he's gone.
Yeah,
So the first domino has fallen.
yeah. I know he was working for the Church of Bane. Do you know anything about them?
I don't know. Ask the girl here. She seems like she knows all about churches.
Well, I don't know every church. I just know this church is the Queen of the Raven.
That's the one I'm
Nira,
not after.
Nira, do a no, actually I would say you would know this. You would know based on your piety, I guess. I don't know. You would know based on your piety. That's the word, Jesse. Okay, you would know based off of that that
I mean, either that or that. Like, what's your background, Naya? Are you a skull? Like a what are they? The sage?
Oh, I'm a I train.
she's an acolyte.
Yeah. So then, like, yeah, her training.
Yeah. So you would know that the Church of Bane is it is a church is a very loose word. You've actually heard this because of the way that it is talked about being as a disdain. They are dedicated to worshiping the god of Bane. They are there to sow chaos. They are there to cause destruction. Like they are everything that you stand against. You have never had contact with him directly, but in your head, when Cookie mentions the Church of Bane, you immediately know they suck and they are not at all what you stand for.
Oh, okay. So what did he say
That's the girly.
about what?
He goes, what do you know about the Church of Bane? And I said, I know nothing about the churches. That's the girly here. She thinks normal.
Oh, well, they're really rude, but they're not much of a church at all, and they don't really worship anything other than themselves. And I just feel like it's an organization that really shouldn't worship.
I agree. I'm far from worshiping them. I am after them. I'm
Perhaps you
after
should.
them, and I'm after their leader. Someone I
who's their
know by the name, someone by the name of Eric, that I know, and I'm after him. I'm after him in the church. I want to end them all.
Arik.
I think I've
All right,
heard that name before,
close
and
enough.
I don't think
All
he's
right.
a very good person.
I know he's not. That's why I'm after him.
Well, I
And-
commend you on your journey, and I bless you from the Queen of Ravens.
Yes, and he sounds awful. And you enjoy that journey.
Wait, do you worship
Sure.
God?
Are you a member of the
What?
Church of Bane?
No, I'm not sure.
You seem like
I don't-
it.
You seem to think that you were.
You seem
Are
to be
you?
hiding something.
Guys, I'm not hiding anything. I've been forthcoming. Is that the word? Is that the term
I
you're
don't
looking for?
think we're looking for that. I think we're looking for more of who you're worshiping, not who you're coming for.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm not a bit. Who do you worship?
Queen of Ravens.
Queen of Ravens. She seems cool. Yeah, I worship the Queen of Ravens.
Don't.
Sure, I do.
Or you don't.
Yeah, test me. Ask me a prayer.
At this moment, the bartender walks up and slaps a wet cloth on your table and says, "All right, I see 2 empty drinks. That means you are done. You leave now."
How did I miss this?
You're not kicking us out. You're just kicking him out.
What? Hey,
All
hey,
of
hey,
you are in my bar.
Hey, friend, one more drink here. I'll come up with you to get it, and then we'll be done. We'll leave. I promise. I
Probably in
totally,
his early 20s also.
I-
So, like,
I totally promise. Let's.
nothing has changed.
It's time.
Colby, roll a deception check. Again.
Oh fuck! That's another 3. Then
You've only been rolling threes.
I get +7.
Do me a favor, roll an insight.
Rolling inside. Okay. Okay, I got a 22.
Okay. This man is at the fuck around and find out stage. So he looks at you and he is seconds from blowing your cover. He is one more word out of you in the incorrect fashion from blowing everything that you said.
Okay. All right. Can I roll a religion and a performance?
At
Throw
this
a
moment,
prayer.
you can, but keep in mind what I just said.
I know he's gonna kick us out, but I feel like
Wait. You rolled a what?
I rolled a 22 on.
He is not going to kick you out. He is going to hurt you.
Oh.
He is at the fuck around and find out stage. You saw his black hand earlier. So you can, but with a 22, I'm warning you. So he says, "Listen to me, friend. I am tired. I have had a long day. Had you been here 3 hours earlier, maybe I would have been more accommodating. But my bar is torn to shit. I have been robbed. Your gold barely makes up for that. So I need you and your friends to leave."
Okay. I'm gonna roll religion and performance.
Okay.
Don't hate me, guys. I'm playing my character. All right. I got a 15 and a 19. I fucking rock out. What is the prayer of Raven? Like,
I'm waiting on Nira.
You're at a Free Will Baptist church right now.
I am waiting for Nira.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. Raise me up.
Who are you performing this to, Nira?
Yeah, everybody.
And what's your purpose?
They asked me what I believe in. And
Okay.
Raven, and this comes up.
So
and
Nira and Cookie have said,
God, he reigns.
Nira and Cookie have said, we don't believe you. This guy has told you to get out.
Yeah, I'm killing that thing to prove them that I totally am the dude I am, and then also pissing that guy off at the same time.
Nira and Cookie. Cookie,
Yeah.
you would do this at disadvantage. I need you both to roll a wisdom check.
Okay.
So
At disadvantage.
Cookie has disadvantage. You do not. In fact, I would say you have advantage, Nira.
14 for me.
Okay. Nira has
Oh, that's nat 20.
advantage. Oh, that
That's
sucks.
not wisdom. Right.
Wisdom, right here.
With advantage, so
15.
roll it again. And you're actually rolling it. No, you're rolling. No. You're rolling a save. Roll at the very top.
Ah.
and then right click it and roll it with advantage. Or yeah, just do that.
15.
All right. So Cyrus, your performance rocks out for Nira and Cookie. They are actually enthralled. Nira is impressed. You've done well.
Oh my god, that dick is so big.
The DM shuts down.
Okay.
You guys get one uncomfortable moment every.
That's fair. That's actually accurate. Shanjan, however, at this moment is beyond pissed. And so what he does is he walks over to you, places a hand on your shoulder,
A beam.
and I need you to make a dex saving throw. With disadvantage because you're in the middle of a performance.
Excellent.
No, that's right here. Saving throw, right here.
Oh.
Disadvantage, roll it twice. 15.
So he grabs you by the shoulder, and by now, his entire arm is black. And he holds you, and he picks you up. And as he does, you can feel death coming into you.
Yay.
And I need you to roll. Actually, no, I need to roll that.
I'm just no, I'm not gonna say it.
That fell, so I'm not going to count that. As he picks you up and leads you out of the bar, he literally takes you and tosses you out. And he stares at you and he says, "If I ever see you in my bar again, I will not hesitate to kill you." And you take 3 damage.
God damn.
By the way,
Damn it.
it continued, nat 20.
You're lucky it was just 3 damage.
You are very lucky. Yeah.
Just dead. Gets thrown out in the street, goes unconscious. Out.
Honestly, hold up.
And this is a great thing for you guys. I mean, I'm playing meta, playing DM. Might be a good opportunity for you guys to drag me.
I'm just saying, I was supposed to roll a 1d6 and you would have been unconscious at this moment. But I was kind and rolled a 1d4.
Iris sees this happen. Her heart is broken for this poor man. And she grabs him. And she takes him up over her shoulder. Carries him like a tiny baby to the inn. And she goes to the innkeeper.
Sorry,
Right.
just Cyrus, you are conscious and you're like there. I don't know. You're also really quick rule. Colby and Amber, it's a little bit tough for y'all. I would prefer it if nobody ever said their hit points. You can say, "I am really hurt right now," or "I am on death's door," or "I'm doing fine, I'm doing okay," but I do not want you to give numbers.
Okay.
So just
So
really
you're saying no on a scale of 1 to 12.
do not say on a scale of 1 to 12, "I'm doing 10. Yes, that would do not do that.
Let me get. I mean, I brush myself off. I get up and I'm like, I'm doing great.
All right. So
How about that?
Nira comes over to you and is like, I'm going to carry you back."
I don't need that. I'm good.
Okay, Snowflake.
Oh, I'm saying I can get there.
Oh, tiny hiccup. tiny eco means to just get there.
What are you about, man? Raven Queen.
You can use your little penis to, trench it along.
Never seen my.
I think so.
I would. I just want to say that the spirit of Boomer would be dying laughing if he was in this. It's like
You chose to go to the inn.
no. Hey, he is feeling a lot better now. Just sipping wine, waiting for y'all to show up.
So now
I
just walks past him after he's ignored her help. And she's like, okay, well, that's up to you. And she goes to the inn, gets a room, and goes up to the room and starts meditating.
Well, let me stop there. I do know
Hold
that I have
up.
convinced these.
Hold up.
What?
First off, Nira, you're at the inn. You give the innkeeper 15 silver. He tells you it'll be 15 silver for the night. You go up to your room. It is also on the second floor. It's a little bit further, like it's not as far down the hallway as Boomer's room, but you are about 3 or 4 doors down. There's about 6 rooms on each side, or I'm sorry, about 4 rooms on each side with the suite at the very end.
Okay.
So you are in about like the 3rd room, and Boomer would be at the far end, the 5th room. So.
Okay.
But at this point, have I convinced them that I'm probably not Booth and that I am very much a disciple of the Raven Queen as well?
Can't answer the first part, but your performance did wow them on the second part.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And so I roll into the inn, and I'm like, I need the suite on the 2nd floor.
Toblin is behind the inn. He kind of pops up and he goes, I'm really sorry about that. I actually gave the suite on the 2nd floor to another gentleman. Came in earlier, had a limp. I figured he might need that room a little bit, so I gave it to him.
No. So I had a reservation. It's under my name.
Oh, you did? I am so sorry. Let me check my book here real quick. He pulls out like a thick leather-bound book and he slaps it down and he goes, okay, reservation. Huh. That's real. I apologize. I have not had a reservation here in about 6 years, so I do not see that.
No, I sent a Raven. It was reserved for Rick Pickleman.
Rick
Boo.
Pickleman. He's
Boo.
looking. He's looking through. He's looking through the book. He looks down at the end of the bar and he goes, by the way, make a deception check. He looks down at the end of the bar and he's like, Pete, have you seen a raven come through? I don't know that I've seen a raven anytime soon, anytime in the last few days. And the man at the end of the bar, he kind of lifts his hand. He's like, I ain't seen nothing. I don't, and just kind of falls back down.
We're gonna be
22.
best friends.
22. He goes, well, I don't have a reservation for your name, but and the 2nd floor suite is given, but I do feel terrible about this. So what if I give you the 3rd floor suite at a discounted rate for the night, of course, Rick?
Does the 3rd floor suite have access to ground level from the balcony?
If you could jump, sure.
Friend, I need access to the ground level from the balcony.
The only rooms that have balconies are the 3rd floor and 2nd floor suites. And like I said, the 2nd floor suite is currently occupied.
Got it. Well, clearly I sent a Raven to...
Really quickly, Jesse, I would say by now it's been probably about 45 minutes to an hour. You had mentioned that you would be downstairs. I don't know where you currently are at, but...
Just Boomer's gonna find like a corner booth and just be like sitting in there watching the show.
Okay, so there aren't booths, but yeah, you would be at one of the back tables, kind of like the stairway goes up on the far side across from the bar, and so you would be by one of the tables right by there. So yeah, I would say go ahead and make a perception with advantage. Cookie, what are you doing? It's just you and Shanjan like standing awkwardly in that at the bar now.
25.
Yeah, I mean,
Natural 20. Sorry.
I mean, at this point, I've left that bar. I mean, my
Okay.
only goal is to get answers, and obviously, so far, I've struck out. I've heard some other locations, but you know, at this point, I've had one drink, but I still feel like I need another. So I'm going to find Boomer to take him up on that other drink.
Okay. So yeah, I would say and Nira, you went up to your room. You're in your room. So I would say at this point, yeah, Cyrus is at the bar, like yelling about his reservation. Cookie, you have just entered. Boomer, you see at a table at the far end on the opposite side of the bar. So yeah, I mean, Boomer, you heard everything. You have heard this entire conversation. So yeah, so Toblin's
from the back. If I see him like hustling this like guy for a room, Boomer just goes, "Booth, was it?" It's like, you can always just stay with me.
I literally like sit there like a bitch.
It's like,
I turn and
did
I
I
go,
get that
friend.
name wrong?
Yeah, I go, friend. You may have heard my name wrong. My name's Rick Pickleman.
Rick
And
Pickleman.
at that point, Nija's already pissed off. She barges in. She's already walked over there, and she says, "You've got a vestige of the Raven Queen, and I demand you to tell me now where you got that."
And you just see Boomer like kick one of the chairs out on the other side of the table. He points over to the bartender. He's like, "Swing by him, get you something to drink, and plant that little keister right there, and we'll have a conversation about it."
She walks over to the bar and she says, "I'll have your mildest drink, please." So he gives her.
Toblin looks at you and he says, I've got an ale that's not that strong that I kind of hike up the price for between you and me, and I've got a water. Which would you prefer?
Hiked up priced one, please.
Like
Thank you.
Bud Light.
Yeah. So he hands you the it is a Boulder's Gate Red Ale. It is a dark it is a dark amber beer. Oh. And as you taste the first sip of it, it tastes like as you take the first sip of it, you realize this tastes like Shinerbach mixed with water.
Oh.
The fuck are you serving me, sir? This is disgusting.
You asked for it. I tried to warn you. It's not very good. People around here seem to eat it up. I think it's because it comes from Boulder's Gate, but that's
And her
neither here
eyes
nor
get
there.
really dark, and she looks straight at him in the face, and she says, "How dare you diminish me?"
No offense was meant, ma'am. You asked for the weakest drink. That's it. I didn't cut it with anything. That's just how it
I
tastes.
wanted the drink that was the tastiest, and you should have known that.
Make a deception roll.
You see Boomer going, "Is this the first time any of these people talked to him?"
Talk to anybody?
Down?
Jesus.
Christ.
Um,
We're gonna have to have table manner lessons one of these days.
Nira, he would, with the 14, he would look at you and he's kind of like, okay,
Boomer's just like,
you're right. And he goes
give her
and
the red.
he goes and he pours you another Red's Dorset.
Oh yeah, no, don't give her.
Yeah. He goes and he pours you the jasmine shadow that he's poured for Boomer. It is a white, and it is one of the sweetest smelling wines you have ever smelled.
Okay.
It's like Boone's Farm.
Oh my god.
No. It is like a Riesling. It is like a $400 Riesling is what this would be equivalent to.
That's pretty good.
Is exactly what my elf heritage would expect me to drink. Thank you so much.
Of course, ma'am. Of course.
Boomer's just like,
So,
Oh,
at this, Colby, you're making this really hard. I need.
welcome to DMing.
I know. I need Jesse. I did not expect to have this many rolls against people already, but I need Jesse and Cookie to make perception with advantage.
Is Cookie in here now too? You sit down too.
I'm like,
I got
Cookie
3 chairs.
was in there right about the time that
Okay.
that was
20.
happening. Okay.
I didn't do too great on that. But
You didn't do it with
Oh, by the way-
advantage.
By the way, within 20 minutes, I need to go to bed.
Okay, that's fine.
13.
That's
Not bad.
okay. Morro rolled a 20. Cookie rolled a 20. Actually, Colby.
I could probably do till 10.
We'll probably. Oh, okay. Well, we'll probably wrap it up after everybody finishes their drinks and goes to bed.
I could probably do 10:30.
Okay.
I'm not sleeping.
Okay.
Just,
I would say with both of your rolls, you would realize that Rick Pickleman is the third name you have heard Cyrus call himself.
Holy shit. I gotta add this to my notes. Rick Pickle is a person Cyrus calls himself. Okay, good. Ready.
So, we're all at the table now. Everybody got drinks finally.
Cyrus, are you at the table? You were walking over there.
I'm walking towards them.
You said you were. You said you were walking over there and said, it's Rick Pickleman. That was your exact, that was exactly what you said.
Mhm.
And I walk towards them, and I just keep walking past.
I'm in a corner. You're gonna
Yeah,
walk
he's
into
in
the
a
wall?
corner. You don't have a room yet. The only way to walk past is to go up the stairs.
And I keep walking up the stairs.
Where's he going? What the hell is What? Listen, I understand that people can have sports and adventure and related injuries at any given time, but I swear that man's been concussed.
Oh, for sure. It's CTE.
Now, it's got to be something because it sure ain't SMART.
You're so funny.
And so, like, Boomer, now that he's been cleaned up, is in like normal clothes. He's just in like a really nice, like, imagine basically like any of the characters from any Western like blackjack movie you've ever seen.
Oh, okay.
And he's just like lots of reds and like leather basically, but holstered across his chest is one of the revolvers, and then the other one is strapped to his leg. But he still has that, like, his left eye is completely covered by a like an eye patch, but it is like a, instead of being like a fun like I'm a pirate eye patch, it's like obviously like medical in some way.
And
But he's
for Naira, she was like, listen, I appreciate all of you, but I must go pray and meditate about this group before I follow any closer. And then she walks off and goes back to that shrine.
Everybody's just moving around. You can't just take a seat and have a conversation with anybody. He's gonna tell her all about, or anyway, whatever.
Cookie.
Anyways, looks over at Cookie and he's like,
And,
"What
and
Nope, nope, nope. You're walking up the
No, no,
stairs. You are walking up the stairs.
mm-hmm.
no, wait. I'm walking up the stairs. And I
Sir,
remember-
you don't have a room.
Listen, out of game, I'm gonna go pee.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can always back what I just said
Mm-hmm.
and we conversation, but I gotta go pee. Real quick.
Go pray."
And
Nira, I would say maybe going to the shrine is a good thing for you.
Okay. Cool.
And here's the deal. And I'm going up to my room, and I'm pissed, I'm mad, and not sure why the fuck there's more people than one around me. I turn around to the gentleman, and I go, the kid, and I was like, I had a reservation.
Yeah, but I took it. Come sit down.
At this,
Quit
Toblin
hassling.
walks over and again, this is expensive wine.
Mm-hmm.
This man, Boomer, he did something to Toblin and was very kind, so he is giving you this wine that he is losing. He probably has lost his night on 3 glasses of this wine. So he brings and sets a glass of wine down for Cyrus at the table, and he says, "Sir, a glass of our finest on the house. I sincerely apologize. I'll get you the 3rd floor balcony suite. I will do what I can to make sure that you are well taken care of at your stay. I sincerely apologize, Mr. Rick."
Okay, and I sit down, and can I roll a, like, I don't know, investigation or something to better understand Boomer's background? At this point,
I
I'm
will-
giving up the root.
I will give you a history
Okay.
or an insight, whichever you prefer.
Inside, it's higher.
Okay.
I got a +3. So I got a 22.
Okay. Yeah. I would say Boomer, didn't you earlier roll for the name Booth?
Yeah.
Okay. You would know the name Boomer. Given your travels as of late, you have sort of turned this leaf into a kind of Robin Hood-esque figure, Cyrus Goodfellow. You would know the name Boomer is, I wouldn't say quite the same as you, but you have heard of this name. This is a man that is one of the most revered bounty hunters on the Fell Coast. He is one of those. It is one of those names that you don't hear often. Somebody named Boomer, and also noticing the weapon of choice is not something. So putting those two things together, you would know. You have heard this name in your kinds of circles. The undercroft of the cities do not enjoy the name Boomer.
Okay. So I sit back down begrudgingly, but I look at both. And I'm sitting across from these two gentlemen.
That's fine.
Okay.
And you're both looking for Booth, aren't you?
I'm not looking for Booth. I don't give a shit about Booth. I thought that was your name, but he was looking for Booth. I usually, pony up to people who are looking for other people. But I'm just
Gotcha.
passing through. I had other business to attend to, so.
Okay.
But it's not usual that whatever this is, and whatever you are, and whatever she is, and whatever the fuck that was back on the road all happened at the same time. So I just, taking the signs, I guess.
Weird circumstances. I hear you. This gentleman here, I still haven't got his name, so I'm gonna call him. You. No, I don't like any of these. I don't like. They're kind of lame. Godzilla. He's looking for a gentleman named Booth.
No,
About Booth. For whatever reason, he.
I mean, the name Booth to me sticks out a little bit more regally than what you've presented yourself here. However, all that to say, and he like Boomer stops and reaches across the table towards Cookie, your character, and goes, "I've always found it."
Cookie's sitting next to you.
Yeah,
you are in
Okay,
the far.
I didn't realize I was at the table, so
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I just
you.
go,
Okay.
yeah,
just like, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, yeah, Cookie, you had mentioned you were walking over to the table.
Yeah.
You mentioned you were walking over there. I would say by now, you've sat down. Toblin also he brought you a beer. You can tell it's a little bit different color than the one that Nira got really upset about. So he hands you that ale, just making an assumption off of druids. And basically the layout of this table now is Boomer, Cookie, and then across from them would be Cyrus.
I would just say that Boomer is positioned in whatever way that there is nothing behind him. Like
Yeah, the only thing up above
Boomer.
you is stairs and the wall, so you could be kind of leaning back at an angle to where you've got a view of everything.
That's just gonna be like a Boomer thing, and that's like a thing that like he's got that cop mentality of I have to be able to see the exit kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he just like sticks his hand out and he's like, it's like I've found that you catch a lot more flies with honey. And he's like, Boomer, nice to meet you. Like goes around and he'll like, name, you got one? Talking to you.
That's directed. Okay, yeah, that's directed to me. For once, you can see I don't want to say let down my guard, but I'm a little more relaxed, and I've been kind of sick of how everyone else has been. So to him, I say, my name's Morro. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Wonderful.
But I'm still looking for some help. So
really quickly, Nira, final decision. Did you stay or did you go?
I stayed.
Okay. So Boomer introduces himself to. It would start with
Morro.
It would start with Cyrus directly, or actually Nira would be closest on the inside. So you would start with Nira. You would say, "Hello, my name is Boomer." You would look at Cyrus, say Boomer, and you would look at Morro, say Boomer, and then Morro is now told you his name and mentioned that. So.
Like, I look over at the one who's had 3 different names, and I was like, listen, I don't care what you go by or what they call you, but what I do care about is whatever's going on and why you seem to want to get away from it so quick.
Get away from what?
I don't know. Why are you trying to move away from this group so fast? We're just here for a night, having a drink. What scares you about the company that you're keeping here?
You trust anyone these days? I mean, it's pretty dark times, my friend. Would you really try to make any sort of connection with anyone? Seems like we're in a very much a time of turmoil, and most everyone's gonna backstab you at some point.
While he's saying that, he said, I kind of mumble under my breath. He's like, yeah, you better watch out for me.
I just
It's on my bad side already.
Boomer's like, I spent a lot of my life fighting through darkness. It's like I try to look at some of the bright side sometimes. Like worst case scenario, you walk through that veil, and then it's done. You just, live your life the way you want to live it. And I try to live it on the little bit, maybe more lit path, but I can respect it, I guess.
I'll be honest, Boomer. I have heard of you. I know you're where you come from and the principles behind you. And to be honest, I don't think you're a man that would be after me. So I'll be honest with you, and I'll tell you who I am. My name's Clive Westwood.
It's like the 5th name you've given him. Can I check him?
Yep.
Insight.
Insight with advantage.
Can I roll something? Like deception?
No.
23.
It's interesting that he has heard of you, but you haven't heard of any of these names he said, except for Booth.
Mm-hmm.
It's also interesting that this is now the 4th name. And I would say the 3rd thing that you find interesting is that he doesn't. You feel that he is nervous about something, and he just told you it is not you. And that might be the only thing that he has said so far that you believe.
Like, we'll get to real names one of these days. And then he's got like an eye basically on this 5 names individual. But he turns to the lady at the table and is like, hopefully that wine is a little bit better than that stuff they served you before, and I think I owe you some answers about the matron of ravens.
Well, it is Namaskir's elf wine, but it serves its purpose. Yes, what do you know about matron of ravens?
It's like, I know that she ferries the souls from one life to the next, and I know that I can appreciate that in the line of work that I do.
And what line of work do you do?
I hunt. I hunt bounties. People who have done bad things
And do you bring them to the queen?
every time.
Have you seen the queen?
So he is going to like take a long pause at that and just say, "Don't you see her and everything?"
I do. I do see her and everything. I see her in my dream.
Hey, Nira. Roll. I don't even know what to roll for this.
I mean, he was definitely lying. Like, so I can roll a deception if you want.
No.
Okay.
Roll a religion. That's what I need you to roll.
Man, I've rolled 2 natural 20s this game. I'm feeling pretty spicy.
Thanks.
Okay.
All the rolls have been good.
I know. Nira, so in this moment, you would almost feel a pull to your Raven Queen. You would almost feel as if you are back at your home, you are at your temple, and you are speaking directly to the Raven Mother. And you can almost like it was your dream from a few weeks ago that you had that led you on this journey. You hear the words again say, "The name bears weight as if to explode. Find him and guide him, his quest will be grown." And with that, you sort of come back.
You're the one.
I'm
You're
A1.
the person. The Raven is very obsessed with you. said about you, and she's correct about you.
I'm glad to know that she still watches over me.
Oh, what happened? Why was it ever severed?
I don't think that anything was severed. I just think that it's been a long time. But
I think that it would be very important, very prudent for you to come into the woods and have a little meditation session.
it's like, well, this gentleman over here is really apt about spending time on that second floor suite, so we can retire to the room if you want, and all of us go.
But what's more important? Is it what this gentleman says, or what the Raven Queen says?
Well, I totally,
Yeah, you should go to the wood.
I understand that you're.
First, please.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
I said I'll take the second floor suite. You can go to the woods.
What? Now wait. Why do we got to go to the woods for? What's at the woods? Why? I just got comfortable.
Well, the darkness is where we are most comfortable, and the darkness is where we meditate.
I've had a girl tell me that before too.
Who told you that? Was it me?
We're playing.
You're gonna get yourself in trouble. Colby's gonna get in trouble.
I am Clive Westwood right now, and Clive Westwood has told me that, or said that he's had a girl tell him that.
I think that.
Listen.
No, go ahead.
I think that we wear the vestige, and that means that you still have like a close eye. And if that's true, is it?
You broke up a little bit, but what? I think I caught most of it. What? Clarify for me, real quick. Sorry.
You wear the vestige of the Queen of Ravens,
Mm-hmm.
and so you must still feel strongly about that.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's true, I would like to lead back into the graces
I'd
of Our Lady.
Hopefully, I'm not out of her graces, but I mean, if you're a cleric or a priest of hers, I'd be more than happy to meditate with you.
I absolutely am.
And Nira, I would encourage you, based off of your role, to look at your phone because I sent you a little bit more that I didn't want to say out loud.
I think that like during this time, like all this talk about like the Raven Queen, like the cane was up against like the wall before, and he's like Boomer's like instinctively just kind of like spinning it while he's sitting in his chair.
And I, as a cleric, like bless him so that he doesn't need the cane anymore.
Not right now. Not where you're at in your journey currently. I would say as you progress and gain more experience in the world, you would be able to do something like that. Possibly. It would take a while, but it's something that could be slowly worked on.
Okay, so Nira says, in your young age, you don't understand what it feels like to be
I forget
truly
your-
blessed.
It's like, yeah,
But
my
in
guy's
I have lived an entire lifetime, and I'm blessed to have seen the Lady Queen shine upon me in the darkness and make everything.
So, I've seen plenty of elves before, but I don't know if I've ever seen one that's quite purple as you. Where exactly?
Well, I am.
Where are you from?
If you would allow me to explain, I am half elf, half Cleric. And in the place where I'm from, which is called Alexandria, we are in a twilight realm, and the Shattercry have come out of their underground dwellings and began to live with us, and it has created this majestic bond. And my parents, my mother is Shattercry, my father is Elf, and we live in this twilight realm that allows us to see beyond the ether.
Hmm. Brings you a little bit closer, I guess.
It does, and we live in the Fey realm also, and we get Fey that visit us regularly that are not harmful. I've heard that they've been harmful in other situations, but it's quite magical.
Sounds very busy.
Well, it's busy, but it's calm, and it's nice, and it's it's just like people do what they're supposed to do, and there's this neutrality about it, and I think that that's the most beautiful.
Finding balance is fantastic. It's always nice whenever you can trust the people that you're with.
Well, and the Raven Queen also, like, she finds such balance between life and death, and I think that that's a big proponent when we come to what's important and what's not important.
I agree with that. Definitely puts things into perspective. Helps you shed the small stuff and focus on the bigger things.
Yeah, as I feel that you should also do.
I gotta chime in. I don't think I've seen balance in my life. I've only seen death.
And so Naira puts her hands on her shoulders. She reaches up. She's 5'10", by the way, but she just reaches
I
up.
was gonna say, yeah, I don't think you can reach my shoulders, but
I can. And she says, "You will find this, my sweet tree."
I gotta nod and say, I hope you're right. But so far today, I haven't gotten any closer.
You will get closer. Amen.
So, who was it that you were looking for? Because you were obviously looking for somebody.
Yeah. You're talking about me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think you found one of them, but I'm not
I
gonna.
was looking for Booth, which I thought was the man of many names that maybe doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, maybe he's just CTE and confused.
He might be.
All right.
But this man was working for the Church of Bane, right? Church of Bane? Yes, the Church of Bane, which is who I'm after. And Arik, right?
Arik.
Arik is who I know as the leader of it.
Yeah, you've.
I know.
Well,
or do
no. Roll a history.
Okay. 11.
You know that the name Arik is connected in some way to, just like you know the name Booth, you know the name Arik, and you know that they are both connected to your past.
Okay.
Ow. Actually, let me rephrase that. You know the name Arik is connected to your past. You know the name Booth was working for Arik. You don't know Booth's role in anything. You know that they were working for Arik, and that's about it. So, like, your plan was the dominoes. Booth leads to Arik, leads to you getting vengeance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out, and I may have to roll a deception for this, but I'm gonna come out and go. I'll be honest with you, folks. The time spent has been well. Okay.
And I'll be honest, I have been deceiving everyone around me,
What?
and I've not truly accepted myself for who I am. I feel like that I need to um, really come out for who I am, and that is, I am a disciple of Mother Raven, Sister Raven,
Queen Raven.
Queen Raven. Yes, Queen Raven. Just like all you other brethren, and
You're a liar.
second.
Um,
And
well,
and and I haven't been forthfront about my name either.
You are a disciple of the Bane.
You know this.
As soon as she mentions that, I mean, I definitely tense up and again,
Well-
I'm ready to fight. Like,
Does she know
like
this?
I know she's got. I know she's not
Well,
necessarily being serious, but
Naira,
it's enough to.
Naira, roll insight with advantage. Morro, Boomer, roll insight.
I know this.
Or
Ten.
insight right there. Advantage.
Poop.
6 and roll again. 10.
Y'all have no idea what
Yeah.
to believe. You think he might be telling the truth, but he's also told you a lot of shit, so you don't know. You're very
Yeah,
50-50
and-
right about now.
We were already with that dragon, and you said that you were with the Bane.
No, I never said. Never.
Somebody
I
said.
never said I'm with the Bane. There's other people that said I was, and I am coming forth right now, and I am telling you that my name truly. Don't take anything I've said. I know I've said a lot of names. This is my real name, and it is Billy Clearblue.
Now you'll have to roll a deception check. Again with disadvantage.
And that I am a follower of what is this faith?
What is this? I'm a follower of-
Deception
follower
with
of
the deception with disadvantage.
Oh no, that's Amber's deception. I was like, man, I have a higher deception than that. 18 and shit. 9.
Everyone immediately again is like, we're pretty sure you're full of shit, but we're not. I feel like you are, but I don't know.
Boomer totally thinks that you're brain damaged.
I was gonna say
That's
I haven't
probably that's probably more it. They probably think you are just very not
I
put
haven't
all
even-
together.
I haven't even
I
hit
reckon-
this guy yet, and he's got mental problems.
No. Naira can just tell that he is not telling the truth. She doesn't know exactly what that means, but she can just tell that he's not.
Your
telling.
religion, you and Boomer definitely feel. You could almost look at each other and know you are connected to the Raven Queen. You do not feel that way when you look at this person. You feel nothing at this moment. Whereas with Boomer, you immediately were like, I don't know what it is, but there's something about you that is connecting us. And it wasn't until you understood the Raven Queen connection that you understood that, and that the mother drew you to each other. You feel
But-
nothing
I'm not
towards
saying-
this person.
But
I'm
I
not saying that Cyrus is a bad person. I'm just saying that he's lying about that.
You would
no,
you would
you guys
not
know that
you,
wait, at this point, I am truly Billy Clearblue.
you no. They wouldn't Naira, you and Boomer wouldn't know that he's lying, but you know that you're not sure and that you're not feeling the same way that you did about each other.
That's fine. Boomer just goes, listen, I have named 1,000 people in my lifetime. I'm just gonna start calling you Slick. And Slick, you maybe go take a nap or something. All that to say,
You guys don't even know me as Cyrus, you only know me as Billy Clearblue. No, we don't.
Yeah, you haven't been that good at deception. Um,
But Boomer kind of goes like, I'm gonna sit here and we're gonna have some drinks. We don't have to talk. We can sit here and just stare at each other. But I often find talking's a little bit better way of getting to know each other. And if we're at least gonna share tonight together, like we can have these drinks and move on.
As long as
Do you guys-
numbnuts over there shuts the hell up, I'm okay with that.
We'll just
Do you guys
call
want to
him
hear a
Slick.
story that's not related to D&D?
sure.
Sure. I got you two giggling, so.
So I got home from work today, and on like the stool that sits next to our kitchen table, there were like two pants, like cut off pant sleeves. And I looked at Colby and I said, "What's this?" And he was like, "Oh, have you not seen my shorts?" And he had cut off these like sweatpants, not even,
Of course.
not nice, not good, so short. I was like, "Sweetie, that's not good." And he was like, "Oh, I went to Whole Foods in this," and I was like, "That's not good." And
Just hanging brain in Whole Foods. Is that what you're saying here?
I'm just making a note that Cyrus's next intelligence saving throw is going to be at disadvantage.
well, I said, "They're not very even. Do you want me to even them out for you?" And he was like, "That might be dangerous." And I was like, "Yeah, that's." Well,
I mean, they're fine. Hi. Like my underwear ain't hanging out. They're fine.
and then he was, I was
Oh.
like, "Well, I got those extra pieces away." And he was like, "Well, you might want to make sleeves out of them later." I said, "Yeah, we might need sleeves."
Just randomly. Hey, Cyrus, we used to think you were crazy, but now we can see your nuts. Oh, man.
Okay, all right. Where are we at? What are we doing?
We're sitting here.
It is
drinking.
nighttime. Y'all
Yeah.
are at the bar. Toblin brings you over another round. However, it's all the ale. Again, Nira, this is the ale that he brought Morro. It's not the dark red that he previously served you. It's more of an like a lighter color. And it's actually pretty good.
Oh, okay. I'll have it here.
Boomer, as he takes the glass, slips him another gold. He goes, "This will make up for anything that you lost tonight."
Toblin is very gracious and walks away.
Can I make at this point I kind of already know about Boomer.
Sure.
I'm like, do I know Boomer is like he has means beyond the rest of the group? Maybe he might be connected, and I want to uncover potentially does he have, based on my background and where I come from, does he have connections?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going with this.
Trust
Yeah. Roll investigation. Sure. With advantage.
Okay, cool. 21.
Yeah. In all your time of dealing with the Zentarium and Church of Bane, you have never once heard the name Boomer. Again, it is a name that you've heard strictly along the Key Coast. It is a name that people fear. The bad people fear. I would also say with the 21, you would know that you understand that this is a man of at least some morals. He's a bounty hunter, but the bounties that he tends to accept are a little bit on the darker side of things.
Can I look at him and be like,
if this man is
You can do whatever you want.
looking,
Mhm.
no, but I kind of want to get him off on his. Do I need to get him off on his own and be like, I'm who you're? He already said he's not looking for food, which that's great. But additionally, is he someone that would be enticed by Booth, or does he feel like Booth is beyond? And that's a hard question without talking to him. But is Booth
you're just talking
someone
to me.
who would not go after?
He's about 5 drinks in. You could just ask him.
But I can't ask him with all two towers standing next to me.
Colby, I would say you're more than welcome to ask him. You're more than welcome to.
I could ask him like, hey, is Booth
There's
someone
no
you would
way
be-
to. Yeah, there's no way to roll for that to see. That would be something that you would just have to conversationally try and decipher.
Okay. So I'm gonna use this opportunity. We're drinking. We're having a good time. I'm buzzed. I know my friend here, the Cyclops, or the King Kong, wants
Boomer looks
to
over. He's like, he's a furball. I know what that is.
a fur bog,
Yeah.
a fur ball.
Furball. They're
Yeah.
I mean, they're big, but they're usually kind of friendly. And he like way too friendly, like pat your stomach.
Still not happy with the guy across the table, but be careful. You might start falling into his category.
Nah, I got you.
Okay. So my friend, the furball here,
Mm,
is looking for a man named Booth. Have you ever heard that name?
I have. That's what. Whenever I heard it in the woods over there, that's kind of what sent me running. But
You seem like, from my knowledge of you, you've chased a lot of individuals. You've filled a bunch of bounties. Is Booth someone you are tracking down?
no, not somebody on my list. Somebody I'd be willing to meet, but not on the active list. And like Boomer pulls out like a small kind of like a notebook, and he just kind of like flips through some pages, and it's mostly just like red marked through it.
Jesse,
Mm-hmm.
Roll for me,
Mm-hmm.
and roll for me a I think it's going to be history. Roll for me a history.
18.
Okay. You would actually know. Once you pull out your list, it kind of sparks a memory in your head that there actually is a bounty on a man named Booth. However, it was put out by an organization called the Zentarium.
I know plenty about them.
So you would know that this, you know that this organization is shady. You know this organization operates very much in the shadows. And the fact that they are using their name to put a bounty out on this man tells you that he must have done something to piss some really powerful, bad people off.
So like the Zentarum have like a coin that they hand out, at least in like not Faerun. Is that the same here?
So here,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know how much of this I want to give away. They do not give out a coin,
Okay.
but
they've got like a symbol or something, right?
there is something that only the Zentarum would know.
Okay.
Or That's all I'm gonna say.
That's fine. If it's not something that I would know, I wasn't. I was just gonna say if it's the coin thing, maybe he's got like a drawing of one in the like his book or something. But
Yes,
Oh.
you. Ooh, I don't remember your backstory. Yeah, you would not have had run-ins with him enough to know what that kind of loose tie is.
yeah, okay. Right next to a chapter of the Harpers that's also not filled out. The But yeah, so Brimmer would just be like, yeah, I know of Booth, I know of a bounty. I am not on that bounty, but the people who are on that bounty, not people I'd want to piss off.
No. My friend, golly, I still have not gotten your name. Cannot believe it at this point. And
Everybody introduce themselves. You would know his name's
Yes.
Morro.
Oh yeah.
tomorrow, like bone marrow, or marrow, or
Tomorrow.
tomorrow,
Morro.
tomorrow, not bone marrow. Okay, tomorrow.
But yeah, Booth
Tomorrow.
being
What?
hunted by
My
bad
name
man.
is Nira.
Your name is
Her name's
My
Nira.
name's Nira. I'm so good at it. You have talked to the mother.
Mhm.
And what do you know of her?
Did you forget the conversation we just had?
Yes, 100% I did.
You are about 5 rounds in, and Naira's kind of a little looser than she normally would be at this point.
Having a hard time keeping
Yeah.
it together.
Morro, because of
Billy-
his size, is a little bit more put together. Naira, she's struggling to keep up.
I don't appreciate you saying that. I'm struggling. But listen, I'm a very tender woman from a very small land. And I just think that my connection with her is greater than anyone else's connection with her.
Mm-hmm. Probably right.
I am Billy Clearblue. Everyone knows
That's
that,
all I
right?
think.
Billy Clear.
Slick. So what I'm gonna stick with until we get the truth out of you. But yeah, that's where we're at with Booth. Other than this one over here, he's trying to come after you, or whoever Booth is. He kind of rolls his eyes, but
And that's about where y'all are at.
it's just like, but yeah. So I mean, we got
I mean,
here
I'm
by
gonna-
a dragon. My legs hurt. They're better. They still hurt. She wants to pray. We need to retire and pick this up in the morning. Are you going to be around in the morning, or are you trying to sneak off, Mr. Second Story?
I mean,
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
what do you mean? Why would I sneak off anywhere?
You were real adamant about having my room, but when I offered it to you, you weren't so keen that I stayed in it.
Don't worry about that. I am.
Listen, I want to ask you a question.
Mhm.
Very off put. And then you start talking to another man?
About what?
Are you serious?
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
You broke up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you broke
they keep
up.
breaking
I'm not
up.
like,
Yeah. That's not in character. You literally broke up. We couldn't hear you.
I heard like half a word.
I tried to talk to you about our queen,
Mhm.
and you didn't want to speak about it.
Yeah.
So that seems a little bit sus.
I mean, we can go talk about it if you want to. I don't know how much these other people would be interested in it because we're the only 2 followers of her here.
Well, sure, they'd be interested in it. They need to know about it.
no interest in these gods of yours.
See, look at that guy. He didn't
Druid,
care.
hush your mouth.
Yes, hush him now.
As she says this, Morro gets like, again, you have this beautifully purple-skinned half-elf sitting there, and she is probably as drunk as she has ever been, and she reaches across the table to this Furbolg druid and is like, hush your mouth.
I just shake my head and
It is
say,
just a sight
some-
nobody here ever
some of
thought they
these
would see.
just can't
Yeah.
hold their liquor.
It's like, I'm afraid you
Sure.
might drink the rest of us under the table, sir.
Yeah, this is just a warm up.
Goddamn, I need
We
more
will
gold.
speak of the Lady Raven in the morning, but as for now, I must.
So,
Adios.
Boomer, as like a sign of good faith to not Nija. Why did I forget your name all of a sudden?
Naira.
Ira.
Nira, there it is. I was like, Nija just went in my head and was like, "This is where you're staying." He's got like a
That
couple.
would be like, yeah, we're not doing this shit right now.
He's got like a couple of like little like as you guys kind of look like little like raven like iconography like on like different patchworks of this like outfit that he has on, but he takes that like kind of main like symbol and like pulls it off and hands it to Nira and says
Mhm.
you can hold on to this until the morning and then we'll have a conversation again.
And then Naira says, my goddess, you have given this to me, and I swear upon my fealty that I will do everything in my power to make sure that your will be done.
Yeah, and at this moment, I've ran back to the barkeep and I said, "Hey, yeah, that boomer fellow, whatever he's already paid for, I will take a couple more glasses of that for the night."
Like you want more to drink?
Yeah.
He looks over at you and by now it's pretty late. Y'all have been drinking and conversing for a while now. And so Toblin looks over to you.
Our room was taken.
Yeah. He looks over at you and he kind of checks the time and everything and he goes, yeah, I can definitely get you another round or so. It is getting very late. I would like to shut down, so I am going to make this last call. Last call, whatever you would like, outside of our wine, of course, is on the house. But yes, please have this round on me, and I will make sure that your accommodations are taken care of going forward, Mr. Pickleman.
Gracias.
And so with that, he goes and pours 4 more drinks and slides them over to you.
Yeah, and then I just mosey up to my room.
Okay, so you carry fuck it, make an athletics check
Climb up 2 flights of stairs.
with 4 beers.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
What? Ah, fuck you. Oh, 16.
Oh, you got it.
There
Okay,
you go.
yeah, you make it up there, and I would say maybe like, you know, the tops of all 4 of them spill out. When you get up there, you've got about 3/4 of 4 beers left. So
Like-
you make it up to your 3rd floor suite. Yeah. So you have what would that be? That would be like 3 beers. So you make it up with basically 3 full beers.
Our neighbor's wedding.
Yeah, so I made it in my room that way.
All right. So
But if they're last calling, Boomer's gonna say, he'll stay over to Naya that it's like we'll continue this conversation in the morning, and then he looks over
You
it,
better.
and then over
I have
to
so many questions. I have so many places to go. And
Yeah,
I have no idea where I'm going.
well, we can figure that out. I promise you. You were probably the most interesting person that I've run into in this area in a while, outside of this big guy.
Well, that means nothing to me outside of finding out what this map means.
Matt,
I have a map.
a map. Oh, you have a map.
Oh, my.
Well, we'll need
Yeah.
to take. We're gonna have to take a look at the map, and
All right.
when we're not
For
all
sure.
drunk.
All right.
Speak for
Night.
yourself.
Mm.
Last
Yeah.
call was too early.
Morro's like,
I'm completely sober.
yeah.
More-
I wouldn't say
like,
completely
Maybe
sober.
I was gonna say there's like a little.
You've got a little buzz going, yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
But-
so Boomer, Slick, and Nira have all retired. Morro.
Yeah. At this point, I haven't gotten anything I've wanted today. I'm thinking that I'll retire for the night and then get up and get going early.
Okay. Really quickly, you have not yet purchased a room.
You know what? I don't think my character has any gold.
Who's a ballbuster?
If
ballbuster?
if like
You don't
I
have any
understand
gold.
that if Morro is not
I-
like have a place, Boomer offers him a spot on. It's a suite, so it's got to have a couple of places for him to sleep.
The way that these suites are designed, it's more of a large sort of sitting area and then a larger than normal bed. So you would have two options. You could put some of the chairs and stools together and makeshift a bed, or the bed would be large enough for the two of you. You could share.
Say I've spent enough time in nature, sleeping on the ground that I'll just say all I need is just a spot on the ground.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
enough for me.
What Boomer does whenever he's like, listen, you guys get up there. He's like, you take the bed, and he takes a chair, and just like, maybe kind of like one of the more comfortable ones, and like drags it out onto the balcony, and like kicks his feet up on the balcony and leans back, and just kind of like pulls his hat down kind of low, and just kind of sits on the balcony and tries to get some sleep.
Okay. So yeah, night is well in swing. All four of you retire to your 3 rooms. Boomer, around. First off, I need you to make 2 checks for me.
Mm-hmm.
Make a nature check and make a perception check.
Nature was a 10.
Okay.
Not super. Natural 20 on the perception, so 25.
Very cool. The perception. So where your room is, again, you're kind of at the base of this mountain. You're able to notice a few things, and I'm actually going to give you the nature as well with that natural 20 on perception. You notice a couple of things. The first thing you notice is that it has gotten very, very cold. And you sense that it is about to snow a lot. You don't think you're going to be going anywhere tomorrow, based on the way this weather's looking. The second thing you notice is, you notice 2 more things. The first thing you notice, because where this room is situated, you're actually looking towards the mountains. It's a beautiful view. The way that the 2 suites are, you're staring out at the mountain range. And one of the things you notice is you notice a winged creature, not the dragon, a smaller creature, flying through the night on its way towards the foothills of the mountains. The final thing you notice is a little bit further to your, I guess this would be a little bit further to the southeast. I guess you would be looking to like the left. A little bit further to the southeast, you noticed some torches lit in the very, very far off distance, and you swear for a second you hear deep guttural, almost like painful roars.
Hmm.
And with
Weird
that, do what?
I said this is a weird place.
With-
Boomer also, before we like finish up real quick, the real reason he slept outside was to make sure that Slick doesn't try and jump down off the balcony.
I will tell you that if Slick opens the door, he will be met with a couple of feet of snow. He's not going anywhere immediately or easily. And if he does, there will be footprints.
I was just gonna say he's like hanging down, and like Boomer pulls that cane out and locks it into place, and he's just like, "Get back up there."
So yeah, you are about to experience a very large snowstorm, and Boomer, you have seen some things that are very difficult for you to understand given where you're at.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
It does not. Okay, yeah, and I think with that, that is the end of the first day. Colby, you can go. This would be a long rest, so you can go ahead and heal up.
Yeah.
Did you take 7 points total? I'm trying to figure out how far you got.
Yeah, 7.